Good morning, happy people. Welcome to Chartroom. How's everybody doing today? I'm going to say a prophecy that the Lord gave me last night. So last night I had the Lord speak to me in my sleep. And these are some of the things I believe the Lord was sharing with me. So let me pull this up. Here it is. The Lord shared me just a small prophetic word. Here it is. What has happened before will happen again. What has happened in the depths will be brought to light, and what happened in the foundation will be directly related to what happens at the heights. And I believe that part was related also to charts. In a dream, I kept receiving a receipt that I was going to eat an ultimate breakfast meal. But people kept coming up to me telling me what I should order because they wanted to eat some of the food from my plate. They kept asking for corn and they kept asking for sides, but I was hungry for the main meal. I was joined by people of various countries and various people, and even all they were asking for what I was eating. When I received a meal that wasn't the ultimate breakfast meal, it was what people who were asking me what I was going to eat began to serve me. They tried to serve me meal that was poison. And there were plenty of things to eat. There was lots of various things to eat, but it still wasn't the ultimate breakfast meal that I ordered. But the meal they tried to serve me, one of the dishes was poison. But the poison was quickly detected as soon as I tasted it, and it would not harm me. The Lord showed me that I believe this is directly related to the charts and the cryptocurrency. I think there's times when people are, I believe that's what this means, is the Lord showing me that there's plans and things He showed me like, hey, these cryptos will do well, or this is going to be good and this is enough. But there's also a lot of requests that come into the market, and there's going to be people that may want to tell us or tell you, hey, you need to buy this instead, or you need to do this instead and do this instead. And of that, some of those are the sides, but they're not the meat. They're not the big stuff. And there's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to be popping off in the market, so to speak. Sometimes a meme coin. And there's going to be an attitude that's going to come into the people where people are going to want to chase after everything that's popping off because they'll see it go up and they're going to chase, but they're going to get out of position for some of the more meaty meat and potatoes when it comes to the positions they should be when it comes to cryptocurrencies. And corn and the sides are fine, but they're not the main meal. And then some even meal that people from all over, I believe it represents like YouTube, Dive Community, all the people who come to us asking about different stocks or crypto and Forex and things like that. They're going to ask for different things. Some of those are actually going to be very detrimental to you, poison. But the Lord has showed us that as soon as they're presented, they'll be detected. Some is like we can look in a chart and see something's wrong in the data. There's times that people are saying, oh, you need to get this, you're going to get this. Remember, in a very near future, everybody and their nana is going to become an expert at cryptocurrencies. Okay? Everyone's going to become an expert at cryptocurrencies. Expert. When shoe shine boys and taxi drivers start telling you what stocks to buy, you know the market is oversaturated. I read a story just the other day from a book I was reading about the South Seas Trading Company, and a man who presented a scheme to the King of England, and it made people rich for a long time. People were becoming very rich in relatively short amount of time, and everyone was basically trading the stock of South Seas Trading Company until the market was so saturated and it dropped, and a lot of people lost a lot of money, and the market was very saturated. They said that their footmen who would open their door for their carriages were having footmen of their own. Everyone was getting rich. Everyone was getting rich. Hand over foot, people were getting rich. The market became oversaturated. There was no one left to sell to. And then when the scheme ended, or the elation went, the bubbles burst, then the stocks fell. And people were committing suicide. People committed suicide during the Enron situation. People committed suicide in the 2008 housing crash. People were so upside down. And you need to understand that there's ways we can detect when the market is oversaturated. And you're going to need to be aware that people are going to be presenting you what is actually poison. It's not good for you, but it won't harm you because you'll be able to detect it. And I believe our community is very unique in that sense that we can detect this. And then finally, the Bible says, or the Lord spoke to me, the scripture in alignment with this, what the enemy has meant for evil, God has turned for good. So the enemy is going to be presenting some of these things to you, but God will show you how to navigate, and He'll even flip it so that there's a blessing for you. Even I believe that part of the Lord has reminded me for our community is to stick a lot to the meat and potatoes. There's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to happen in the markets. We're going to break the attitude of just chasing after cryptos. We want cryptos that are more sound. We want cryptos that are in good structure. We want cryptos that have buying in the background. We want cryptos and to fill our portfolios with that type of thing. On our JSON bullish list, I've highlighted a lot of cryptos that have buying in the background. On our website, I show the image notes daily with the stars. If they're a pink star, that means sometimes it's a possible bullish crypto that may need to move into a position or may have great structure but doesn't have buying. I like the ones that have the green stars, because if I put a green star on my image note on our website, that means that those cryptos have been added to my bullish list. Those are generally cryptos I identified buying in the background. You want to look in the little text. Some of those cryptos are added on the list, but they're not in position, so you want to read the text, and they're just a great starting element to look forward to. Our last update was, I believe, on the 4th or the 6th of December, and so there's another update coming this week. Otherwise, just go through our last image notes for the last 2 meetings, and you guys can scroll through and look for the ones with the stars. Those are the cryptos that we highlight. Amen. All right. I hope that helps everyone. All right, that's my prophecy for today. That's what I believe the Lord was sharing me. Let's go into some cryptocurrencies. I can do cryptocurrencies if you guys want to. I'll start with USDT.D. There's nothing really big to update you guys that you don't already know. There's our round structure number 1. Here's our round structure number 2 for USDT.D. When this chart goes down, your cryptos go up. This was my big call on November 26th. I told you guys this is the last time to get cryptos at some really great prices. And price came down here quite nicely and hit the lower side of this key angle reverberation, which is based on it's actually a type of DP. It's based on the oscillation of price bouncing and playing in this area here. When we duplicate the oscillation underneath that trend line, the distance we're supposed to hit is along this track in green. Okay, so let me put it back. And you can see that we hit there just a few days ago on December 4th and December 5th. And we were still playing underneath this area. You can see that price broke above this area in a single day and came exactly back to our main resistance area. You guys had that resistance for months. For months, we've had that area, okay? We know it when we first hit it back here in March, and we know that it's been established since 2021, okay? So is something everyone can understand and easily see, and that was from our November 26th. We're still very much bullish. The most recent things, the Lord showed me a few dreams about us going up on a curve before coming down again. So that tells me there's actually 2 bounces and 2 times to take profit. And I believe one of them, XRP, is going to be, if XRP already cleared 250 halfway, I believe we're going to hit $5 when we're here. I'm still in the camp of Bitcoin hitting around 130 to the lower side and 120 for the higher side, 110 to 120 actually, but I personally think it's going to be closer to 120. We're going to hit this area twice, and then there's going to be a bounce according to some of the visions and dreams the Lord has given me. So price is going to fall. There's going to be time to take profit. We're going to need to take a little bit of profit, and then we're going to see this come up on a curve. XRP is going to come down on a round curve like that. And then once these bounce, then the market's going to have another down move, and that's going to be one more bullish movement. And now this one's going to bring us possibly down to the lower side, closer to the bottom part of this. But what's actually going to happen is at that moment, we're going to be somewhere below this white line that I've highlighted, or this green line that I've highlighted. Okay, this white line I've highlighted. That's partly a vortex based on this smaller oscillation accelerating more sharply. So the DP that was up here that you guys see says DP, and also this white line along this track, they meet together closer to January 6th. Okay, that's where they meet together as a vortex. But as it is, what I'm expecting is priced to be somewhere in this territory, although it won't be structural weakness. Once we're in here, price is going to reverse really far. So once we're below this area, I think we're going to see a large wick. You're going to see some very high prices. Everybody and their nana is going to be calling you up saying, oh, you got some crypto? They're going to be buying, but they're the bag holders. And you're going to see price shoot through this line, as I show on a vision. It's a very long candle. It's going to be a very large drop in crypto prices. It may be even linked to the crash if there's some kind of external events or factors playing at that case. This is why I gave you guys an up move in red, because this is going to be a possible large crash for the crypto markets. Okay, and then this one right here, as I've given you guys bull run for cryptos, that's what this is. Okay, two runs so far. One here, we were in position, down. One here, we were in position, and down again. Now, it is possible that we could find some slowdown support by being on top of here, but ultimately I don't know if this small area is enough to push us back one more time. But even if it is, I'm still very bullish anything underneath this line. Okay, so that's how if anybody wants to know where I'm at, where are you bullish the markets? I'm very bullish the markets because of the structure, and this is the structure that we're expecting. 1, 2 is what happened last time we were here. And you guys remember, I explained this to you guys the other day when I called it 2 weeks before the first big move, the first big move, because there was 2 times we had to get in 2 weeks. We had to get in. 1, we came up under here, and then 2, we came up under here. I said, guys, these are the best prices we need to get crypto, and I called it in October. In October, I could see that the oscillation for this area was broken in a downtrend. So we hunt the up move in a downtrend. You hunt the up move, and then you get back in position. But when that meant this chart was going to go down, and when this goes down, that means cryptos are going to go up. So I knew we were going to go all the way to 4.23, 4.23 area. You guys can see it along that track. It's dynamic positive. That means that as time goes on, that number is going to go higher. And here's at 423, 27, 430. That's exactly what's been happening. So now I'm seeing it again. 1, 2, we didn't bounce on here. The Lord showed me, don't worry about bouncing on here. And within a very short few days, we phased through to the underside. So I know that we need to be ready to be next bullish for the next higher prices. So that's something that I've seen for USDT.D. Now remember, I told you guys I took some profit at 2 something and moved it into XDC. I got some profit into XDC, and then we're waiting for the next structures to appear for XRP before the next move up. Here's the structure. I told you guys it's these big moves at $2 and above 230. We hit both numbers quite nicely. We broke above the up here to closer to $2.75, $2 high of $2.91, came down. The meat is on 230, and we wicked down to $2 twice. So exactly where our numbers are at, we needed to clear this sludge. This is actually the delay territory. Okay, it's actually health to delay. So I'm gonna make sure, I need to make sure I had that a border in yellow. Okay, all right, so this is health to delay. And for XRP, for you guys need to understand, this is structure building on here. People say, oh, we're waiting for a breakout. The truth is we already had the breakout. We're having a pullback on top of these structures. We needed to clear this junk. After that, price is really ready to start tackling its higher areas. So the next health is where you're at now. So for you guys who are at XRP, you're watching, this is part of the health. And it has a strong foundational angle, by the way. So we got plenty of room to play based on our method. You guys need to understand what's really happening here is that price is going to be moving up very swiftly. And the numbers I have is closer to $5, $4.77 to $5. $4.77 to $5 is the territory I'm looking to hit. And it was really, and this is the number I called. Look, here's December 11th, I think I have up here showing you guys based on the 230, 189 to be my exact map. Precise calculations. Let me make sure. Okay, I'll just leave this one on here. You guys need to understand that it's very easy for price to hit $5 in this territory based on a simple projection of this distance here. If we measure the distance, it's actually just happens to be 477. But if we include the wicks or the extremities, we can understand that it's very possible once we're at 477 for price to stretch out and reach to $5, which just is right there. Okay, this is $5 where I'm moving this little ball. That's exactly 5. Sorry, right there. That's exactly 5. So look how close it is. It's very much within the margin of error for us to hit a $5 move, possibly relatively soon, which means that XRP is about to double or make another 100% if you were to enter right here. It's about 94%. $5 is 100%, something like that. Okay, now if you're already in from the previous health, that's going to be there, and you're going to still make all the same percentage that you're going to make from our last health. From the first health area, it's closer to what, 500%, and then from this last health area, if you got some really good prices at this pullback down to the top side, if you were lucky enough to get some at $2 or closer to $2, you're looking at around 130%. And then if you got some at the health that was down here in this area, you're looking at 300%. So you guys should be doing well for your XRP, and you can consider that part of the meat and potatoes. If you add that to our prophecy today, you can consider XRP being one of the more meat and potatoes types of trades. All right. Now let's see. Triple J said, I hear Abba speaking to my ears. XTC, the train is here. The train is here. Get into the wagon. It is not, the van wagon is not too late. TikTok, not too late. December 14th. Thank you, Triple J. And the other day we heard Triple J talking, it was about a week or 2 weeks ago, we heard the Lord, Triple J said that she believed the Lord was telling her XTC. And then after that, in our last meeting on Tuesday, she had said that she heard XTC, the train is here, but the driver wasn't there. But now if we're hearing TikTok, that means the checking his thing. So make sure you guys remember. Now in alignment, I told you guys I moved some profit into XRP to get some XTC. XTC's only been hitting its all-time high here at closer to 0.93. It is, I don't believe it's multi-touch flat. It's only just a flat. Okay, just only a flat. So you need to see that. Just so you guys remember that. So XTC is in a good position. My numbers for XTC are 16, but remember I had a dream that when XTC hits 6 cents, it takes off. Okay, once XTC hits 6 cents, it takes off. And sure enough, I was able to get some at 6 cents. So we hit 6 cents, very small pullback back to sword cut, and then we come up, we got the break above, and now we're in a territory where we can possibly hit the higher numbers up here. And even remember, there's after XTC goes really high to a point where we're supposed to take profit. I had a dream where people asked me, hey Jae-Sung, what do I do now? Should I take profit? And I said the word, and as soon as I said deciding if I should take profit or if it's a good place to take profit or even to calculate, then XTC went off of my map. Now the numbers, I have high numbers for my map, $1.89, and I also have House's Dream closer to $2.93, but I also have a very high number of 2. It's possible, and that's based on the DP projection of a very established oscillation. We'll know more of these when price is able to crack 188. I'm going to be holding out for a very high number for XTC. And if you bought it every 6 cents, and every 6 cents that you're getting is double. So 244 to 3, the percentages is insane. There's a lot of stuff on the table. We hear a lot of stuff. Are we all going to be able to hit these in these seasons? I don't know. I think there's going to be times where we're going to be taking some profits, but some of this stuff can really happen in a very quick time. So anyway, if you guys are watching this part or clip of the video on YouTube, that's our website, patreon.com/jaesung_7. We do lots of cryptos on our website. All you have to do.
Hey, can I share something for a moment?
Yeah.
I have to go away for the day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was, me and Ian were talking the other day. We were just saying that some of these coins, they have low market caps and they might pump, but there's not much liquidity. Later on, when people are trying to dump single crypto, there doesn't be enough liquidity to really get out of the market if you have any kind of substantial amount of money in them. But with the likes of Gal or Curve or all these other coins that have been what super food would say are blue chips, there's loads of liquidity to get in and out of them. Like, I was thinking about XTC, and I was thinking I could have traded my XTC a wee bit and made a few, and I just felt in my heart not to do that, because you could be out of the trade when it moves up. And there's also an issue, I think Augie put something up in the Telegram group about a supply chain shortage of XTC that there's really there's not. They're hard to get as well. And if news comes out, the institutions are going to be trying to buy them. So you want to definitely be holding your bags when that happens.
Thank you, House.
That's everything.
Thank you. Have a great day, House. Have a great day. Thank you, guys. I'll pause the video right here. We'll post some of this clip on YouTube. If you guys are watching on YouTube, you want to be part of our community. It's $18 for the full month, and you guys will get invited to all of our meeting links. We have links 3 times a week. On our website, you'll scroll down to recent post, and in this area is where you can type in all our maps that you guys are interested in. Just type in XRP, Shiba Inu, whatever cryptos you want, and you're going to see my link to a video such as like this video right here. And those videos are timestamped. So when you click on the title of the video, it's going to show you the YouTube video, private YouTube video, and you can click right and fast forward directly to that part of the cryptos that interest you. Otherwise, watch the episodes and you're going to learn stuff just by understanding price flow on one crypto and another. You're going to see how it works. Through our art, we use the art method called sword method. It's a method I devised on how to understand, read, and map out where price is and based against its own trends and its own flow. I do tutorials. If you, in that same box, for you guys who are interested in lessons, type the word lessons, and it's going to pull up our lessons tutorial as well for you guys of lessons from Sword Method 5.0, the version 5.0, and then version number 6.0 to get you up and started on how to set up your charts using the tools that we use, and it'll help you guys. And then you're invited to all the links. We have 4 meetings a week, the WordRoom on Sunday, and then Chartroom throughout the week on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, such as today at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wednesdays, 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just before you're getting to work, you can take a look at our charts. And then we post all the screenshots, image notes from all the discoveries. And as a Dive Tier member, you can make requests from our community. And then if you're just a free member on our community, you'll get invited to the first Saturday of every single month, as well as see a copy of those image notes and recordings so you guys can join. So thank you so much for supporting our ministry. We really thank you for that. May God bless you. Remember, everything in these videos is never financial investment or trading advice of any kind. Everything's just for entertainment, educational, and comedic purposes only. I ate red crayons for breakfast. Trading in the markets carries substantial risk. Never trade more than you can afford to lose, and especially be aware against high leverage trading. We're going to look at some crypto. Okay, looks like I had a map. I know I have a map on Leak before, but I'll highlight some. It looks like it's might be in part of my older set that was missing. Pull up some things about this chart. Good. All right, the down moves in this example are the correction. So the real move is up, so that's a very good thing. In addition to the uptrend that price is in for this crypto, I enjoy it. Let's look at some things about this crypto. Number one, this is what some of the things I see. I see a large parabolic, which is going to give us some problems approximately here. Okay, so this crypto, I'm actually looking for it to hit closer to $81. So it's only $30 at the moment, so there's still a lot of stuff. I'm going to be looking for it to hit $81. I'll show you why. If I take, even though this structure right here is round going this way, and this is round going this way, I have 3 bottoms that form a larger oscillation. It's a parabolic along this angle. If I duplicate that parabolic, it's going to give me resistances somewhere in these areas. So let's be a little bit more exact and collect all those points, add them real quick, see how many I can collect. I may be able to collect them all. I'm going to go to a higher 2-week chart, and then I'm going to check a monthly chart. Okay, all right. So I cannot collect them all as a parabolic. So in this case, I'm going to use my straights, and I'm going to show you there's 2 areas therefore after that. So let's collect them all. Okay, core, a wick, and sword cut. Oh, this is a good break. This is good. We already hit sword cut once already in March of 2024 in alignment with foundation area angle. That's really good. All right, there we go. All right, so let me fade away some of these ones. No verification just yet. And I want to check one more thing. This has some potential. Good. All right. All right, what we are actually dealing with is much higher prices for this crypto. What we're dealing with is actually tiger analysis. Okay. And what I mean by that is you're actually going up in a cone shape. Okay. And I know this is the shape that you're going up. So price is actually oscillating this way. So our actual bottoms are still in the same area, and I'll highlight them for you. But the tops, this is the bottom. The tops are actually going up along this slope. The reason I know it is because there's a disconnection between just one straight alone. There's multiple straights, and I have to calculate for all of that. However, when I do the advanced calculation, the Tiger analysis, the center point or the centralization of that oscillation, so basically it's like an arrow, shooting an arrow. If this is your angle, I take my center point calculation, the center line, it's a Tiger line, and I can bring it to all the tops and bottoms and look for verification. So for example, if I bring it to core, here, it gives me verifications along that same track. There. See? If I bring it to the lower part, around down here, along this track, I see price very much building on top of that area. If I bring it to the lower key angle reverberations in this area, only at the wick side right here, where a sword cut would be, or the sword cut range, it would be here in this area, and price is responding multiple times there. If I bring it to the underside, at the very foundational area, which is back here, even the very foundational area is going up along that track. And the sword cuts in these areas give us response in the future. So there's a lot of reasons on why we're going up. Take a look and see if we can get one bottom. Yeah, the bottom's not the best at the end here, but it's not the end of the world. But it's enough reason for me to believe that what I'm really looking is sword cuts. It's the type of cone oscillation. This is outward oscillation, like a dissipating type, because it's outwardly going. It's getting bigger and wider as time goes on. I shouldn't say, yeah, like wider. The mouth opens up, something like that. So I'm going to give you a few prices, and then I'm going to show you something else, and we'll move on. Somebody set a timer for me so I don't spend too much time on this crypto, but I love to show it to you. Right now, the lower prices are closer to $13. I'm not saying we're going to hit those again. This sword cut area is around $24. The upper part is closer to $3,000. And then I'm going to show you some of the more immediate battles that you're going to have to face. You got a vortex. That's not a vortex. Okay. You have upper resistance right now, dynamic positive, closer to 117. You have resistance, 130, around there. And then 332. So these are going to be numbers that I want to have on my chart. All right. Now, some of the other big giveaways of what's really happening for Link is that of these structures here, we broke them and we cracked them really nicely. And that is this round structure here and this round structure here. And generally we want to see high volume on the last bars that push past that oscillation. It's this one last month in November. We have some strong volume, and then here this month we have even stronger volume. And it has to be strong because we're trying to beat the sword cut area. Now if we get a close this month for Link up here, that's going to be intentional. Okay, we know that they're doing it on purpose. They're throwing a lot of money to bring us past this area so that we don't just immediately come back down. Although you need to sustain some closes up here. And I really believe we're dealing with the monthly chart. But I'm going to now be able to zoom in and take a look, which means this is a longer crypto. This game is a lot longer. Let me just double check we can still play it. Yeah, I would be actually looking closer to a monthly chart on this one, but the candle is already receiving some really good pushing volume right where it should, so I'll make sure I type pushing real quick. All right, if you have questions about this crypto, try to ask me while I'm still building the map. Good. I don't see any strong active accumulation, but it was going up into health after no demand, so it's very possible there was already buying that I don't see in here. Possibly on individual bars like this one right here, strong down bar with ultra high up move, by ultra high volume into health. The consistent volume in this area as we just consolidate. That ultra high volume on the down bars with really tiny spreads. This could have been the buying that was in there. It's almost assuredly the buying, especially if the move was into health. So I'm going to put some arrows in the background. I like it. I like this breakout. It's longer term buying in the background. This is going to be longer term bullish. I wouldn't mind having some Link. Okay, I'm going to hide some of these lines I don't really need. Yeah, Armin? Sorry, can you get a few more? Can you get a little closer to the microphone? Armin, are you there?
I think he has a hot mic.
Okay. I thought he said the reason I requested though. He's breaking up.
Try one more time.
Okay, I can hear you now. Yes, I can hear you. This candle's having a breakout. Okay, I can't hear you anymore. Okay, let me say this out loud and we'll try again in just a few moments for you. This candle is having a breakout on larger pushing volume after a monthly close in November into health. The majority of this structure was located using a monthly chart. I suspect this is very long term. However, after performing Tiger analysis, I can see that price has strong potential on the upper resistance closer to $3,000 or 3,375 dynamic positive. Okay, that means that number is only going to go up, and very sharply, by the way. There should be resistance around 130 and 3 areas. We may want to wait for another close January 2024 on the monthly chart to confirm we are clearing the orange sword cut area around $24. Okay, so I want to be clearing that area. What happened? What happened? It just deleted it. I'm sorry, I'm not sure what happened. Ah, there we go. Around $24.
Look at a smaller time frame to see what's happening on top of that sword cut. Maybe a 4 hour.
Yeah. This has a very wide range. It's actually a combination of these two smaller areas. And that was based on, what was this, the monthly chart. Yep. I'm going to shrink it down so you can see it. So there is a very wide range for this sword cut. It's actually that square box right there, okay, from here to here. You're going to have a hard time if you can only see the sword cut on the monthly chart. You're going to have a hard time understanding it on a smaller time frame because it won't give it away what's really happening because you cannot see it on the smaller time frames. So it's going to be more of a case of waiting for the monthly chart for this one. The structures are not always that wide, but sometimes you'll find a crypto that has those structures and they're really there. If you look at a 4 hour, one could argue they're balancing, but I've seen a lot of examples where, you know, you'll see it going in and out or in and out and not respecting it all. If you were drawing this one, maybe flats are active. I'll just highlight a few. Maybe flats are active. You got that. Your upper resistance is here. You're at an upper resistance, so you may be still playing it down here for the rest of the month. I don't know. That's a 4 hour look. You can have fun and draw it. If you want to take a screenshot, you can. Otherwise, that's it. Got it? Everybody else need a screenshot on that? Get a screenshot on it if you want. All right, let's go to the next cryptos. My rule is to draw structures where it makes sense. This is where it makes sense on this chart, unfortunately. It's a very wide chart. Okay. All right, let's move on.
A question, if that's okay. On the reverse, on the other side of it, it has like this. Oops. Yeah. So it has this little bit here. Do you think we might do that? Do you think we've already done
like on the top side of the sword cut, or do you think we're gonna come back down and do this again? Is that what you're suspecting?
I wouldn't say I'm suspecting it. I'm just, because I do think it's quite bullish, but I was just wondering if you thought there was any potential of that.
No, I don't think so. No, if it does come back down, you'll be sitting in the vortex from here to there, and you got a vortex in April of 2025. It's possible, but I would like to see a move up first. Of course, I will say it's possible again, because if you're pushing on a monthly chart, you're playing a really long game. You can play over several years in this particular crypto, because each one of these is 1 month worth of time, and you can see how many months it's not doing anything. So this is just to give you guys all example. This is May of 2022, and this is September of 2023. So over a year and a half or so doing nothing. So if it does decide to pull back to the top side of the sword cut after getting the break, even if it does, you can have a time where it'll have a whole month where it just comes back and does nothing. If it has a wide swing back into the pocket, which is really rare, but it could, we'd be hitting it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, somewhere around there on average. If we hit this pocket here and it happens all the way in April of 2025. That's still not so bad for later in the year to move up, but at the moment I don't see it happening. I have to have a reason for it to want to happen, and that I would zoom down. Once I get the close, then I would zoom in and maybe we can chart it a little bit better. But I wouldn't be really interested in shorting something right now all the way down there, but you'd probably be able to see price go from 30 to 15. That's the pocket, $15. $13, yeah. Let's see, the pocket closer to 15, 14, something like that. Yeah. Anyone else? You could be right. You want to analyze it more? You guys can. Okay. All right. Take a screenshot now. Nolan, I won't say the prophecy again, but I will be posting the video up later today, so you can watch that part of the video. I don't want to slide, especially while I'm in the moment of prophesying. Okay. And I'll play that video again, okay? But thank you very much. So if you guys missed the prophecy, it'll be at the very first part of the video. Thank you everybody who shows up to early for WordRoom in the mornings before we finish our chart room. So I did do a prophecy. You guys can watch that a little bit later. Okay, don't worry about missing it. You guys will have the chance to review it, but please review it. I've been prophesying a lot this last 2 weeks, and then in WordRoom I prophesied the other day, and then also I've been having a lot of dreams and visions about different cryptos, structures, movements, things that are happening. If you guys have been missing them in our dive, just go back to the videos and you'll look for a part that says prophetic, and in the search bar at the end it will show a copy of this, or in the thumbnail. Melody's generally, she tries to put the thumbnail of these in the actual video so you can see what was part of that, and then look for the timestamp prophetic, or where I'm having a discussion or something like that, and then you'll hear some important words for some cryptos. Okay, so let's go to cake. That sounds good, doesn't it? Am I hungry? I think so. Let's look at cake on Binance. Man, I remember there was a time I felt so bad. I realized I was stealing, and then I realized that I wasn't really stealing after I grew up, but I thought I was stealing because there was a software for making music called Cake, and I was really interested in learning that a long time ago on computer. And I remember some friend gave me a copy of the thing Cake, and I had it in my hand, and then I started downloading, and as I was downloading or installing, then I realized, oh man, I think I'm stealing because I don't own a copy. Later on I realized you need a license key, so you still have to install it, but you need the license key to actually activate it. So I really wasn't stealing, but my conscience was really stricken at that moment. So I didn't feel as bad later on in years, but I was like, Lord, forgive me. Look, I'm doing bootleg copies, Lord, and I didn't pay for them. Okay, so we got a resistance up here in the sky we're going to be dealing with. That should be red on the bottom. We are going to be drawing a few straights as well. Okay, not the best support, but a support. Okay, it's based on these two structures here. Let me try to see if I can get a verification for it. We can turn it into something more solid and sound. And yes, we do. Good job. All right, so I got this support here, which is the same angle as our key angle. This is our phantom. So a smaller PA will be here. That's going to be on the right hand side. And that means we're actually sitting on top of our larger key angle. That's nice. So this is a good position for price to be sitting here on the weekly chart. You can see we had a nice pullback down to that angle. That's great. That's fantastic. That's a good sign for continued bullishness. Sure enough, we're also going to be looking for that high volume on that last bar, and we got it. There's your good pushing volume right here and here. It's very small spread, very strong volume. Strongest since March of 2024. That's a really good sign. Pushing. That means they're doing this move on purpose. That's a bullish sign. Now, if we have the pullback and the rest, which is that down bar on really high volume, that's a really bullish sign, especially if the volume of that bar is even higher. But it's not going. It shouldn't be, because we only have one day and 9 more hours left to go for that candle. So it's still okay, but not the best. Okay, let's do some more stuff on this crypto. Okay, I see some strong down bars here, but then we still go further, a little bit further into it. So that might have been pushing just to get down, but there's no demand here. We came down on no demand, very little volume. And so when that happened, if we come up, that tells us this move down here is actually the correction. Okay, so this is the exception to the rule. They're not ready for a lower market. They're going to push it up, and let's see if we can do a volume, look for the volume check that they're doing. Here, low volume, and then we come up again, very low volume in this area, no demand, come down, no demand again, into health. Okay, I'm not gonna be so worried about this one. Now I'm gonna look for flats. Flats are very much appear to be active in this example. Step ups don't appear to be too active. All right, if this is our last break in this area, I'm gonna calculate the last event. It is here, so I'm still expecting resistance there, whatever those prices are. For you cake people, I think 670, 697 is gonna be where it's at. 697 is where you wanna get to. After we pull back down, if we pull back, if we pull back, I'll be looking at a sword cut, possibly in these areas. I don't really think that's gonna happen just at the moment, unless we have a down move in the markets, which we may. But if price is able to crack 697 from 3, then what I'd be looking to get to is the DP projection of this oscillation. So I'll give you a target, and then I'm gonna give you one more target to confirm this, and we'll move on. Okay, so where I'm gonna be looking to get to is closer to $20.96. This is gonna be our DP. Okay, then I'm also going to be looking at the volume target analysis based on here and here. Target 1 already hit. Okay, target 1 is already hit. Target 2, that's nice, there's another target. Up here, closer to the top side, that one has not been hit, so I'll be looking for that one. And those prices are $8 to $10. So again, current price is $3.30. That's pretty good. And then the swing target is also in this area, $8 to $10. So let's type in those prices, and I'll leave you with that. Any questions on this crypto before I leave it alone? This map will be uploaded on our website. Okay, so I'm going to be looking at prices doing something like this. I'll draw some options for you. So this is a good place for crypto, so I'll be looking for this one to be bullish. I'll be looking for it to either come here, make a candle like that, and spike up into that area. That'll be that would be bearish. Or if we get some closes up here, I'll be looking for us to continue going on. Okay, on the weekly chart. Remember, weekly chart. Okay, it's very possible for us to be hitting closer to $20 to $15. This is a 15 dynamic positive. So if it takes over time, here's $15. This is dynamic negative, meaning the number goes down the track, the price gets lower and lower as time goes on. So the longer they take to move it, the less profit that is available on the table. Okay, sometimes when it's dynamic positive and the numbers go higher, the longer they play, the more possible they have to gain. So they'll sometimes play the long game, sometimes. And if they want really lower prices, they'll also sometimes play a long game. But as it is, these are some of the options I'm going to be looking for this crypto. Okay, and to remind me, some of the profit zones here. Okay, that's our health, which means price is actually right there right now. It's a good price. I like where the cake is at. Yep. If I saw more strong buying on in the background, I would be more bullish. But as it is, I'm just bullish based on structure. Okay, cake. I am bullish this crypto based on structure. Based on the structure, price may have a great chance of hitting 0.697 or $6.97. Current price $3.29. The next target is 1098 to 883 after that. Okay, let me check the chat. Okay, nothing. All right, here we go. COQ. CO crypto. COQ is AVAX. See, this is what I talk about when I talk about being stuck in a rock and a hard place. I know. This is exactly what I'm talking about. If you have cryptos that are stuck between underneath a resistance, but they're also happen to be on top of an area, we call this little area here, it's delay territory. And it can waste your time and it can get you in trouble because sometimes prices get stuck in there. It has to have a good reason on who's going to win the battle. Otherwise, the battle will have to be you'll have to wait until reinforcements are added. For example, when price is on top of this white line, it can have a chance to go up. But if it's also battling stronger resistances, such as the round structure here, or the big peaks that happen here and here, then what happens is we're stuck between a rock and a hard place. So in this case, we come down, and we know that flats are also active in this example. So we have price that are still responding to this flat. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now, once we are able to battle down here, it's like the blue one comes to our rescue. So the vortex is this blue flat plus this top area, this top key angle, and price comes into that pocket and then it pops up. You see how that happens? This is an older map, but it's still very much valid. The flats come in to try to intercept some of these trend lines if you just continue them out. And when price comes into these pockets, this is what we talk about when we talk about vortexes. Vortexes are basically areas where two major prices are intercepting. And vortexes are extremely powerful when price comes into those pockets. That's what I want you guys to really see. It might be the theme for today. I'll probably point some of that. I usually like to highlight 1 or 2 principles in sword method, but this is one of the examples where the vortex right there at that price, because you can calculate where it's at. All you do is bring them together. And sometimes I'll point them out. Sometimes I'll even put the date if I think it may hit or it's relative. But it's definitely always something to watch. Because if price wasn't able to beat these areas by the new sword cuts that were created, which we drew them for you where they were created, 17 cents, and they weren't able to clear those areas. You can see from our last map, you can see, where was it? Yeah. See the red, see this red line right here? That's a weakness. So when price is not able to clear this area and not able to build any more into health, then what happens is we're still in the weak territory. But some of those old resistances that were cracked are now going to come back to our aid. So this is where we have the vortex. Now our last health here, I showed you there's a health along the blue flat. You just bring it to the side. That blue health that I gave you guys last time, or this green circle, is along the blue flat. So we know we're looking for health along the flat. So now we can actually see that price is bouncing on top of here. And this line alone isn't enough to bring it, but the flat helping it as a vortex is just another wave of support coming in. So that's a very good thing. So now we can update our map, and now we can see something that price is no longer respecting the key angle like we thought. We know it's not respecting because it's going in and out, in and out. So we can still use it for various things, but for the purposes of sword method, I use that in star method, but in the purpose of sword method, we don't really need to be concerned about it. Now, where is price? What is therefore price telling us? What is the true strong key resistances and support? What is really happening? We can actually see that the major oscillation is not exactly the upward oscillation because price is going below that area, but rather the flat is the major oscillation. Okay, now you answer me this question, please. We'll just do a 3-minute teaching. If the major oscillation is along a flat line, the major supports for the key angle being what is the key for a strong resistance. If this is our major oscillation, what type of resistance do you think we're dealing with? And how can we calculate how high price is going or where price should go based on understanding the major oscillation? Okay? How can we calculate the top part of the oscillation? And I would like some of the more newer people to answer if possible. Please, let's give you guys, the newer people, a chance first. Anyone who's been with us only for a few months, you guys are the newer people. Okay, so let me pull that up on the screen. Please think about the question. And okay, if our key angle is down and it's a flat right here, how can we calculate the top, and what type of oscillation are we therefore primarily most likely dealing with when we're calculating our larger targets? Somebody answer the question. Okay. All right, let's extend it to the people who've been with us a little bit longer, some people who've been following us a little bit longer. Okay. All right, good job, InvestBox. InvestBox, do you see what he's drawing on the top? You see what he's drawing on the chart? Okay, it's very interesting. What do you guys think about what he drew? For you guys who are watching later on in the video, you won't see what they're drawing at the live session, but InvestBox drew a straight line from here to here, and you also draw a straight line from here to here. Anybody know why InvestBox would want to draw a straight line rather than an angle at here? Can somebody answer or solve the equation? Is he right? Is he wrong? Should he be thinking only about the angles?
I think putting at the top. But then you have to do the mid-phantom, which might actually be lower.
Sure.
So we might be sitting on top of a mid-phantom.
Sure. And mid-phantoms, do we draw story cuts for mid-phantoms that are flat?
I'm not sure.
Just an extra question.
Yeah.
The answer would be...
I guess so, because that's where it crossed over, so yeah.
The answer would actually be no. And you can draw a mid-phantom, but you don't need to draw the step-up because the mid-phantom itself is flat and step-ups are also flat. But it's just redundant. It was just a little trick question.
Yeah, that was tricky.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, he's right. You guys are right. Good job. If the key angle is flat, then your top angle is also flat. Okay? If your key angle is along a flat line, then what duplicate your key angle to the phantom. So if we're drawing your phantom key angle, you take the top energy centers. In this case, it's going to be here. Let's see. I like this one, my crayon. Okay. Here's the next one. So these two energy centers is where you're going to draw, but primarily the highest energy center in the area is going to be the determining factor, which is this one. So let's just draw. Yes.
How come you're not looking at this on the weekly?
We probably could, and then it'll give us a better, maybe somewhere here. Now, that's going to tell us our top is probably closer to these higher prices up here. It may have a hard time showing up on your screen, but somewhere here we might be dealing with a resistance. Now our mid-phantom, which is our 50% line, we already responded to. The step up where we cross over from one side to the other is our mid-phantom, but we don't have to draw it because we're already drawing our mid-phantom. Okay, in other words, we should have a resistance here, and if we do go down from there or have a resistance there, that's more confirmation that this is our real phantom, this is our mid-phantom, our MP, and again our key angle. So this is awesome because it's revealing a lot of secrets about what we actually might be dealing with here. Now one may say, okay, Song, I get it, but you're missing the big parabolic in there. Did anybody think about the parabolic? Okay, where's the parabolic? Just as a little finish our teaching moment. We draw it. Good job. InvestBox drawing parabolic. He's collecting energy centers that are on here. Let's draw them together. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so our parabolic collecting this area. What's our big giveaway? Right here, our 2 points in the sky, this area and this area. They're part of our foundational key angle. They slice right through this area, either here or here. We're going to draw them both to collect all that information. And now we have our curvature. We now know that we should be going down along the curvature somewhere here. And therefore, a break may actually be here. So if we come down, we're actually looking to come down probably a little bit lower and then come into health. Now, the way we know this is true, let's ask the class, how can I confirm that I'm drawing this angle correctly? I'm not just making it up in my mind. How can I confirm that this angle is correct? There's an easy way. Somebody explain it to us. So for those watching the video a little bit later, can somebody explain it? We got 1, 2, 3, 4 points of verification, but how can I confirm the angle is correct beyond that confirmation? So I know that I'm actually dealing with a breakout here before I see it. A lot of people think they're actually dealing with a strong resistance when XRP stopped. You're just dealing with stopping volume. People are going to take profit. Market needs to cool off. You're actually sitting on top of areas for a lot of cryptos. A lot of cryptos are sitting on top of very strong areas, and they don't know it. They do not know. So when it pops up, they're going to be chasing those high prices instead of buying at the pullback because they don't know they're in a pullback. And sometimes you're in weakness and you think you're in a pullback and you're not a pullback. It's just price falling. So how do we know? We can tell by structure. And see what InvestBox is drawing? Can anybody explain to the class what InvestBox drew, please? So we have it on audio so people are listening because they can't see what he's drawing. Or InvestBox, are you able to unmute so you can help explain? No? Anybody want to explain? Okay, I'll explain. What he's looking at is these parabolic is also a type of key angle of sorts. Okay, it is a type of key angle, and this key angle can be duplicated and replicated. The same exact parabolic structure can be replicated on the bottom. Okay, now I'm going to clear his annotation because you guys can't see what he's drawing later on in the recording. But if I were to take this key angle and I were to duplicate it out to the lowest energy centers in the area, maintaining the curvature, I can confirm if we bring the curvature out exactly the same way, we are hitting verifications on the bottom side. As a phantom, here is the core. Here is core, give or take a little bit, okay? Now I didn't hit this last time, but I hit it 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? 1, 3, 4. That's interesting, right? So what are we dealing with? Our primary oscillation, therefore, is actually this. So to calculate how high price should go, all I have to do is take the distance of that oscillation and bring it straight up along the curvature. And now I can draw that curvature again, and my top should be approximately somewhere in this area, which we got pretty close to. So when I'm spiking up into these areas, I'm basically hitting the parabolic. Okay, that's how that works. So am I supposed to go down here? Yeah, approximately I should. But is it the end all be all? Yeah, that if I'm trading and I wanted to make some more quicker money and getting in and out, I'm going to be getting in at breakouts and taking the trades up to some of those areas and getting out. That's all I'm going to do. However, if I know the real game that's really happening, I'm just going to pull back here. I can either diamond hands it or wait until price really gives me the bounce or the breakout that I need, because we already had that breakout territory, but these games play over long periods of time. So now that I'm on top of this oscillation, especially coming back from here, best prices were here, best prices are at the pullback, exits are here. If we break above here, we're going to calculate this distance and duplicate that distance, and it's going to be off the chart. Price will be very high, but we can calculate all of that. So I will leave you with this screenshot just in this teaching moment, and I will quickly finish this chart to show you and leave you with this one. We'll go into another crypto, and then we'll do 2 more, and then we'll take a break. I can collect all the wicks too, by the way, which means that there's another resistance higher in the sky. I'm gonna see if I can collect, give you that one, being very accurate. Okay. All right, our full resistance is gonna be somewhere closer to 0.0004. The money that's on the table for AVAX from current prices is somewhere closer to 109% still on the table just before we get to that resistance. And then again, the larger resistance going to be a flat. I'm going to say we're going to be looking to hit these 2 areas of 54 and 42. Those are the numbers I'm going to have for you based on our current AVAX chart. And I'm going to extend the sword cat out. It's in the same area, just borrow that one. Yep, that's the same. Okay, pullbacks possibly to 17, 16. This one doesn't have my seal of approval as far as, because I don't like the pullback just yet, but if I get a pullback to here, I'm gonna like another entry if we get another entry, okay? Worst comes to worst, we may spike back down to these areas over here. I don't think that's gonna happen. The flat's gonna be extended out. Any other questions for AVAX? This crypto, I believe, is gonna do well in the future. It may do exceedingly well. And there's more stuff we can go over, but I have a lot of requests today, so I'm not gonna do all of that. Okay. All right. OQ. Okay, I'm gonna set a little bit of alert here for me. All right. COQ will rise. I hear Abba saying $1 future as number as AVAX. Okay. Is this the same as AVAX or is it different?
Different. It's a meme coin on AVAX. Okay.
Oh, it's a number. It's a meme coin on AVAX chain. Okay. $1 in the future. So Triple J says she heard Abba saying $1 in the future. Okay, that's great. She said that around July. This crypto may need another pullback towards 0.00000 area as shown on this map. I believe it should, after that, hit closer towards 0.0000042. Okay, so from here to up there, that's where I believe we're going to be getting up to initially, and then possibly up to there as well. Okay, so those two areas. Okay. The next crypto we're going to be doing is, sorry, Digibyte. One I haven't done in a while. I wonder if they took away the data feed, because I was doing one on the data feed. Oh yeah, here, DGB on Binance. Okay. Yep, we'll use that one. Okay, Digibyte. We have a lot of prophetic information about Digibyte over the years, people saying it's going to do well. This is a good spot for Digibyte. This is a great, it's been in a great spot for, maybe not right now today, but it's been in a great spot. Look at the curvature of this parabolic. Okay, we're actually sitting on top of it twice. I think flats are going to be at play, and that means they are. Okay, so if I look at the last event that happened before breakdown, it was actually one of our blue flats. Okay, just draw that flat. Okay, the last event before this breakout generally is going to see us with resistances closer to this area. Price broke up but could not hold or sustain, so we come back down to these areas, and our flat event goes to the adjacent, which is this side. Now, because we have two flats on both sides, this side and that side, the highest energy center is therefore going to be in the middle up here. So therefore our next resistance really should be again at a flat, and that's where we're at right now. Okay, so if we're coming down into another breakout in smaller time zones like the daily charts or 2-day charts, the next resistance should be up there, and that's where we're at right now. So you're basically sitting on a resistance, and price has not cleared this resistance, so that's not the safest. Okay, it's not the safest event. There's other things about this crypto, and I'm going to see if I can draw some of them based on just method. Okay. Daily charts are very messy. 2-day charts are very messy. I'm going to use a weekly chart, and I'm going to be looking at this real quick. Okay, a lot of reverberations based on this key angle here, down here. If I bring it up like to the wick side, I'm getting wick, 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 close to wick, core, and some resistance even along this track. On the upper band, up here, wick, resistance, and then resistance. So price is really responding to this oscillation with key angle reverberations, or what we call KR. So just as an example, I'll leave one on here and I'll just put it as KR. I'm going to put this in the middle, and then I'm going to fade this away. Okay, but it is definitely something that's going to be a testament to something, the real oscillation being here. Okay, so if the real oscillation is here, then we have a little bit further to go. So I'm going to therefore extend out this phantom that's above here and bring it down and put a price there. So we know that if we get another breakout, I'm still going to be looking for some resistance in the sky a little bit above, and then we're going to need another breakout, and then we can start getting somewhere and start really talking. Okay, but until then, it's a little bit dangerous for us for this area. Now currently price is at 0.1 cents, and this is already 3 cents. So are we really going to get up there? At the moment, we still need to crack this blue, and there's a lot of volume being thrown at it, a lot of volume in this run, but does it have what it takes at this time? I don't know at the moment. It doesn't look like it. I think we may need to wait a little bit. This one might be more risky. The flat is at 0.16 and 0.19.
If you're already in the trade, should we take profit?
I'll look on a smaller time frame. That could help us in this example since we're pressed up against resistance. Let me also do some other just quick projections and stuff. All right, now this actually may be a good news for this, so I'm going to be a little bit more accurate just to confirm. But you may have a health that you might be sitting on. So let's try. Man, this is one heck of a battle. Okay, I'm just going to borrow straight line here. All right, so I'm going to say it's still too risky. We really may be, we still got 1 day and 8 hours left to go. We may have already got our close above here, but again, with the blue flat, it's a little concerning. So if tomorrow at 8 p.m. or Sunday night at 8 p.m., if we're stopped right above, and I'm going to give you the exact price, if we're clearly above 0.16, this is going to have a high chance of going up. But if we are not above that, and the candle looks just like it is right now, then that's going to be bearish. Okay, so this has a higher chance of going up if we can clear this number. So it's not on my longer term bullish list, but it definitely is something you probably want to watch for Digibyte tomorrow. So I would say that if the candle looks like this tomorrow, then you're probably going to want to take profit. Otherwise, it could be just sitting on top of the larger phantom in yellow, okay, which is this line here, okay. I like that it's trying to be above there. Maybe that's why we're getting all the push right now, because it is a phantom trying to stay above these areas. But if it can't, then you're probably going to slow down and come down over the next maybe 2 weeks or so based on these. This is a 1 week chart, so that's definitely something. But you may get the push up here and then we can rest and come back on top of there. So I would say be looking to take profit closer to 3-1. All right, so this one, I think that's all I'm going to say right now. Let me just check to see if I saw large buying or any buying. It's not clear, but we did come down on no demand and came into health, so that's a good sign. And let me check the tops for continuation. This is a very good sign for continuation. This is a very good sign you're going to be able to crack it. Let me highlight this. Okay, when we were coming into these areas, first, the supply check that's on the top was actually on increasing volume. Oh, sorry, that one. Yep, was on increasing volume. Okay. Yet we didn't come into health, so that means we were still being sold. We were still going into weaknesses a lot of times. Weakness, we should go down. However, when we were here at the bottom, we started doing supply checks again on increasing volume, and we again came into health. That's a sign that's a very bullish continuation. It tells us that too many people are willing to pay higher prices. The market's not ready to drop, especially if we came down on the macro into health on low or no demand. So as a whole, we came into no demand on into health. That's a good sign for Digibyte at this moment. That means that there's nowhere, they're absorbing all the supply on the bottom. Okay, then when they take it back here again to these areas, there's still no demand. So this is a fantastic sign that's saying they have absorbed the supply. Okay, so that's absorption. Now, once they absorb the supply, further supply checks on the top sides, such as this big move up here, on very strong volume, could generally indicate some short-term selling. However, if we see us challenging those areas again because there's too much of a market, and this time around there's another increase in volume, that tells us this is a continuation signal because there's too much of a market on this side. Now, this is the part of the video where when I draw these, I'll usually put a big arrow of some type like this, and generally in white. Okay, this is going to be what I call a continuation indication. This is a supply check in a rising market now that we're in health. So this is a very good thing for this crypto, and I want to see a very strong increase, especially as we're increasing or coming into health. Okay, so this is a continuation indication, and I'm going to put that in the text real quick. I like this, therefore, continuation indication shown in the VSA supply check. This is bullish. Where's that at? This is bullish. This is a bullish signal. Okay. December, what's the date? December 14th, 2024. Okay. Now I'm going to, did I take a screenshot of that? Yep. Okay. All right, I'm going to add this to my bullish watch list or possible bullish list. And because of that, I'll give you the DP for Digibyte in the future, which is the higher Digibyte prices. 28 cents. Yep, you're looking at closer to 37 cents dynamic. See, if it's this season, yeah, I don't think it's going to be this season, but I'm just going to put around 40 cents dynamic negative. Okay, that means as time goes on, that number is going to go lower. So you need to calculate based on the angle, not based on price. December 14th, 2024. Possible long-term bullish. I see this crypto has a strong possibility of sitting on top of another support. In this case, the the DP projection, not projection of the yellow parabolic. This angle price is being rejected at 0.016 cents areas and the yellow parabolic. But I can see it's trying to sit on it with strong volume. This may be pushing. Please watch December 15th, 8 p.m. EST for the weekly close. This may indicate price is more healthy. In addition, I can see that price has strong increases of volume into health in its history and another large increase in health this month compared to May to April of 2024. This is a bullish continuation indication. Sits and closes above 0.016 areas. I would be bullish up towards 0.03, and that's about 200%. Just that little move is just 200%. Watch. I'm going to show you real quick. This move from this price up there is around, no, not 200%, sorry. 100%. Okay, so that's about 100% just in that category. That'd be nice. Up towards 0.31 area. Closes and structures above there could see price towards 40 cents dynamic negative. Any other questions? This crypto, GGB. I want to close there so I can move properly up there. Then I can get here, I can take a big move up to there. Okay? Any questions going once?
Do you want to draw a watch line?
All right. I already did. I set my alert. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. So my alert was set. Wait. I thought I set my alert. Am I mixing up this with the other? Oh, I did. I did this one. Yeah. That's the one we want. And make sure your alert is set on it. If you want to alert set, well, that's not going to help us because we're already there. So if it touches it, it's not going to be a big deal. You just want to remind yourself to look at the crypto because you're already underneath it. It's just going to hit it. Yeah, I guess we could put it to hit it. Maybe it'll at least remind me. Watch December 15th close 2024. Okay. All right. You can set an alarm on your phone, check it, and that's where. Here it is, Turbo. Turbo's under my long-term bullish list. You guys can find our list. The last update was on the 16th, and plus other up charts that are uploaded in our image notes that are starred. When they're starred, you want to look for those cryptos. This was added 2025, and I believe Turbo is sitting very nicely. This is a crypto that recently had another breakout of health. So if you guys didn't get it, here's a last health for this one. It's very close to good prices here. And I believe we're on our way upwards towards 0.19 cents. Current price right now is already 0.011. I like where it's sitting. It's in a large, strong uptrend with possible indications that we're going to go all the way up to 87 cents. Now, this is a very great thing because if you can get it for less than a penny and it goes up to 87 cents, you're going to be making you're going to make a lot of percentage. So the percentage that's available on the table, if you bought it today, is closer to 6,000%, and that might be really good. Okay. Now, this is basically a crypto that has lots of areas where we can easily cut the down move, and this is the last down move for this one. Here's the down move here into health. So there's another health. Here's our last down move into health. There's lots of history of that going on. It's actually not that hard with Turbo. This one, here's a health, and so forth and so on. I hope you guys are doing well with your Turbo position. If you guys are in Turbo, it's a coin that seems to be doing well and stronger with a stronger chance. Now we can continue. We can look at these tops since we're getting a pullback right now. We can look at these tops, and if we see some strong increase in volume at those areas, generally that's going to be an indication that we're coming higher. So we can see the volume down here was actually quite low, even though there was some selling here. It was light. It was very light compared to the market that we're seeing now, even though we're at the same prices. So there's a lot of demand that is being increased for this crypto. So as long as we don't see this come into a major weakness or in a time of major weakness, we're still in the uptrend. Therefore, we're still in the uptrend. So therefore, what we're actually looking at is more continuation of bullishness. So I'm going to be still bullish this crypto right now. It is not really ready to come down in a large way. So I'm still bullish. Anyone have any other questions for Turbo? Okay. No big updates for Turbo. Triple J said I hear it's getting ready to come down, then pop off. I hear Trump money as Trump theme. I hear restructure. Okay. So that's where we're at right now. Any questions? Triple J says, do you see 10? Is this for this crypto, Turbo? DGB. Oh, for DGB, she heard 10, 15, 18, 20.
Hey, Song, I have a question.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. This is more of a charting question because I'm not sure if I get the vortexes right. That dashed diagonal line going down to the flat in the sword cut.
This one right here in white? Yeah, coming down here? Yep.
Would you ever consider that like something to look at as a vortex going up? Like it might come down and bounce off of that? Or would you, that's not really work?
Yeah, that's correct. However, I'd have to have a good reason for it to fall into there. But if it does, if I knew it was going to fall, then I might be expecting and I might buy at a vortex. When I'm considering vortex, I want to consider the validation of basically how much validation, or in our case, we call it confirmation or verification, that this angle has. I'd want to measure the down move. Do I have a verification? In this case, I don't really, or not that strong verification, that this is a really strong down move. At the moment, I just have the tops. But if I had a strong oscillation, and then I'd want to consider the validity or validation of the other angle involved. In this case, it's a flat. Are flats active? Did I perform flats analysis on my chart? If I have reasons why this angle is strong and this angle is strong, then I would really consider the vortex in that area, especially if price sits right in those pockets. I'm gonna experience it with a more stronger or bullish attitude, as we had with the other crypto that we were looking. The flats were very active on the higher time frames from that crypto we were doing a few minutes ago. What was it? Yeah, this one, COQ. The vortex was really strong in COQ when we looked at it in the video, and so that's the kind of thing we would be looking at. Okay.
Okay, so I'll repeat it and then I'll let you go. So the basically the number of verification points on one of the angles or both of the angles multiply or increase the strength of the word. Is that
correct? And one other thing to add there is you'll see a phenomenon. Me and Camino have noticed this over the years, that there's days when there's really strong vortexes, and even if price is in the sky, sometimes it'll get sucked down a little bit. Even if it doesn't come all the way down, there's many times when there's these vortexes where price almost makes an attempt to come down. So if it's like high, it'll be a down day if there's strong vortexes. We see that. I don't have that as a part of sword method, but it's just something I'm aware of, and you could be aware of it too. So if you see strong vortexes in price going up, you'll sometimes see them pull back a little bit. Sometimes if the vortex is extremely strong, you'll see it get sucked all the way through, and you'll see it close even on the other side. But many times you'll see it close right at the vortex with long wicks, and you'll see it stop there, and you know what you're looking at. So if you see price stop right at a vortex, and even if the wicks are below, generally you're about to reverse position, whether that's going upwards or downwards. So if the vortex is on top and price is in that little pocket, man, you'd be looking for prices to reverse just for a little bit in a relatively short amount of time.
Okay, great, thank you.
Yeah. Firecracker?
A question on Turbo. Could you draw that flat line at the top?
Could I draw the flat line at the top? Let's see. For flats analysis? Yeah, you probably could. Yeah, especially with flats analysis working, you probably could, and you're probably going to be successful, maybe. Let's take one. Let's see, because I got this, right? This is a DP analysis, or we could. There's possibly an oscillation here based on this bottom flat and the top flat. So if we were to duplicate it up where our top should be, probably somewhere in that area, right? So I wouldn't be surprised. You could if you wanted to. Let's take that measurement. I'm just going to do about the halfway point. So is it possible we're supposed to slow down in these areas? Yeah, absolutely. Good catch. Huh? If she's looking to take profit, she basically just hit another profit area. Okay. Now something else about this, we already have some breaks above this area that are not included in this really part. So that's hidden value stuff, which means generally we're going to hit there and come down. Or if it is like a type of spike, because this is only a daily chart and the real meat is a weekly chart, then we need to give a wide berth for false breakout. So for example, if this is our meat, this is the exception to the rule, and we can calculate the distance of that exception. It's about that long. What I mean by that is if we know, therefore, we're getting up here, how far can we go and still have an exception to the rule? It is the same distance, which puts us at 19 cents. So we can hit 19 cents as a candle and still come back down below the meaty part of the flat, wherever flat that is. That might be something that we have to be aware of. So if I see a big breakout, I'll be like, oh yeah, we hit there, but it doesn't necessarily mean we're ready to sustain there. We can get slammed down back to here. And the candle would look like up bar. Mine are white, but yours will be green. And you can see a spike up to there, or we can just close right above there and play in this area. So we'll watch both of those with great interest for Turbo. But yeah, it's still going to make me want to look at taking profit at 19 cents. Okay. All right. That's how we can tell that XRP is supposed to find resistance and support at $2 and $2.50 or $2.30. So we know when it comes down, it spikes to $2 and stops right at $2.30. We know it's still bullish. Same deals. Once you hit some of these areas, if it was sitting on top of them, we would know what we're looking at. If it's just rejecting those by spiking here but not cracking this, we know we're still looking at it's not ready. So there's a lot of information we can gather when price is there. As an example, I will just draw some circles to show you what we might suspect. Resistance, support, and support. I'll zoom in so you guys can see it. All right, any other questions?
Where could we fall to? You think if it goes back down, it's gonna...
Back to sword cut, somewhere around there. These candles are very messy, right? Look how large the spreads are. That's just one day. Another day here, that far. Okay? If you were to take the spread from right now of just one day this week, can you hit down all the way to sword cut? Yeah, easily. So for people who are trading this, over trading this, you can easily come down if you're not careful and think you're in a bad position and come right back up to these areas. So with these cryptos, some of these cryptos, you cannot really intraday trade them without giving a wide berth to error. Okay? You got to give a wide berth to error in your mind because the spreads are very wide. There's a lot of people that are trading too closely. By mean too closely, you guys are intrading stuff that shouldn't be traded intraday. If I'm trading this like on a 15-minute chart, let me give you that example. Let's just go there. I'll hide my lines. Okay, here's a 15-minute chart from this week. Okay, what was that? Yeah. Some of these moves are really wide. So you're going to have to map out all of this stuff. But it means very little in the longer term game because the spreads are so wide. So you're going to have to, if you're mapping, that's why I don't map 15-minute stuff publicly primarily because I can't watch all of it. It's really tight moves, right? Here was the date. Let's go December 9th. Here's a 15-minute chart, December 9th. And when you pull up your cryptos, by the way, they show those maps on your exchanges. This is what you're looking at. You're looking at 15-minute stuff most of the time. Here's December 9th, right? This is the trading. How can I trade this? It's really hard, right? You have to map out the smaller areas too. You could do it. It's not hard, but you need to be able to be focused. You can't be distracted. You're trying to get in. You're trying to get out. There's your sword cut. Here's your next weakness right there. You're going to have to calculate the next oscillation, which is the larger structures, the macro and the micro, and you know what you're starting to look and deal with. Okay? So when price doesn't respond here, and we go to the, when I start going to the underside of here, let me show order, bring to front. If I don't get the bounce at this area, I start looking at sword cut. 1, 2, 3, going down, continuation. Then you need to calculate the larger stuff going on. What is here? Parabolic. So we're going to be looking for a stronger support somewhere at these prices up here in the sky. There's a lot of stuff and variables to keep track of. You're going to need to know how to play that game. That's why I don't really bother showing you too much stuff about the smaller time frames, but you can do it if you want to. Just make sure you have your map on the higher time frames first, and then move down slower and slower, and then you can get a good grip on what's happening in the game. Any other questions, comments, Turbo? Okay. All right. Lisa.
Turbo was added to Coinbase, which is a good sign when all the retailers come in and they need an easy exchange. And it's also on the ANA registry now.
Fantastic. ANA registry, adding to more exchanges. I saw it on Coinbase the other day. I got the notification. Is it going to do well? It's probably going to do well. Is XDC going to do well when it gets listed on 7 exchanges in a month? Probably. We heard some prophetic information that it'll be listed on a lot of exchanges just in a relatively short window of time. Some of these cryptos really pump when they get more exposure to more people trading them, right? A lot of people are looking for cryptos they can trade, stuff that hasn't really taken off yet. There's a lot of cryptos that haven't fully taken off yet. Some are moving into good position. We want to be ready for those ones. Okay, look, yeah, still sitting on a real good spot. There's a lot of hope and potential for Volt. It needs to be above that sludge area we talked about a while before it even cracked that. Now that it's above that sludge area, this whole red box area, this is a great price. This is a pullback. It's going to do Volt. It should do very well. But this is the longer term. This is a weekly chart, so it may take longer than we want or than we initially think. But when it does have its moves, the moves can be very quickly clear, really long strides in just a very short, quick amount of time. Here's just 2 weeks, and we price moves all the way up from 47 to here. What is that percentage? Let's see. Just in this like span of 3 days, 120%, and we're not even asking for all of that. But if you did, that's the distance. It can just in a very short amount of weeks, it can happen, or even one single week can do really well. So I expect it's going to do well and possibly hit some new DP projections in the future, especially when it clears all the stages it needs to clear, like the 20, the 12, and the 8. Okay. I'm not losing faith. We're on REN, ACH, DGB, Bone. We go with REN. So with REN, this crypto appears to be in a parabolic downtrend with price responding very strongly to the mid-phantom area, okay? Mid-phantom, which is going to be our 50% calculation. It's basically the key angles on bottom. So I'll take a quick screenshot so you guys can have it and you can understand just a little bit better. This angle is our key, or our KA, and then our mid-phantom is going to be this angle here. That's our MP, or mid-phantom. And then our phantom is up here, okay? That's going to be our key angle down at the bottom, and our mid-phantom along this track, and the phantom. With our phantom, when we place it here at this energy center, we have a really strong verification here. So that tells us what we're actually looking for is prices to build above this area so we have a chance to actually move up. Of course, if price is not able to clear that area, we'll be looking to go down, but we can calculate those prices around 24 cents. So that'd be a really nice thing for price if we can clear 24 cents. Okay. Now, current price for this is around 0.04 cents right now. Okay, so we still got lots of ways. But if I have a large move up to 24 and I'm stopping right there at 24, I know I'm going to be looking primarily to take some profit at 24 based on this phantom calculation. Okay. Also, in addition, because price is responding so well to the mid-phantom, I know that if price is able to clear this number right here, which is closer to 0.08 cents. If I know we're able to clear 0.08 cents, I'm going to be looking for prices to continue higher up to 24. So if I'm getting above like closer to 9 and 10, we pull back down to 8 and we stop at 8, I'm going to be very bullish and not be looking to take profit once I get to 24. That's going to be where we're going to decide to do some maneuvering as well. If I'm getting above 24, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the DP projection, which is the distance of this oscillation, which is the distance of price moving here and here. And it is along a track we can measure. And then we're going to take that distance, we're going to bring it straight up in the air, and then we're going to continue out the curvature of this parabolic, and it's going to be approximately somewhere, it levels off, by the way, so it's actually not hard to track right now. But even if we didn't level it off, it would be basically the distance between here and here duplicated. So it's going to be somewhere out in the future, somewhere about up here. Okay, so they're going to level out. And what I mean by level out is they start going flat. So right now they curve, but eventually they just become a flat line. So we'll just immediately take that distance and bring up that distance here, and we can calculate what price that is. It may be somewhere around $1.20 to $1.50. So we'll do that in just a few moments. And so if anyone who sees Ren go on a really big breakout and we're above 24 cents, and you tell me, Jason, how high are we supposed to go next? We'll be able to calculate that easily months in advance just using this chart alone. Okay, so let's do that. I will give you this image notes. These will all be posted on our website within 2 hours after class, and the video within 24 hours as Melody has to edit the video. To level out parabolic, I just draw a flat line about where they level off. And I try to keep it the same level of whatever parabolic. I usually only use 2 primary colors for the parabolics, and they are ice blue, which is like a light blue, and then yellow. So I'm going to put PA or Phantom at 0.22 to 0.20 cents for that major resistance. Here's our MP at 0.088 to 0.080. And so 8 cents to 9 cents mid-Phantom. And currently price has a low at 0.029 to 0.027. If price comes back to these areas, I'm still very bullish. If price comes under here, I might want to, and comes back underneath, I might want to exit my position as prices may fall a little bit more, and they could be telling that we're going down. So we can gauge here what type of actions we may want to take depending on what side price is on and what it's likely to do in those areas, as with all charts and sword method. Okay. So therefore, right now, a few days ago, when price hit this top on November 25th, a few weeks ago, when price hit this top on November 25th, it was likely we were supposed to be looking for prices to come down. Okay, that's when we can calculate. If price is building above the 8, we're looking to go higher. Price is building above there, we're looking to go. Let's borrow these. All right. Does anyone have any other questions? Primarily, this one's pretty straightforward. There's more calculation we can run, but this is the meat of it. Yep.
If you draw a line on top of that down angle, it looks like it's rounding on top of a sword cut, like a mini sword cut.
Okay, one moment. Okay, 171, 155. This is going to be our DP. Okay, so you said we're rounding on top of... Yeah, can you guys do this angle yet? Absolutely. This is the smaller game within the larger game. Okay, smaller game within the larger game. We'll get to that in just a second if you guys want to see. All right, let me make one more calculation about some of the resistances we're going to have. Okay, I have another more immediate resistance for you. Let's draw that. Okay, and if I calculate the last event that is happening on this bottom, I have 1, 2, 3 structures. 1, 2, 3. If I duplicate that line to the top energy center, I'm hitting exactly where I should, which is right there. Okay, so therefore, where's our next resistance? It's still in that area. And therefore, where's our breakout? It's here, above there. So therefore, I'm going to put a lot of weight and stress above this area right here. Now, to denote that on a chart, without it getting in my way too much, hold on, let me clear your annotation. Okay. To denote that on the chart, what you can do, and I like to do this, is sometimes if I want to, in our art, if I want to highlight an important area, what you may want to do is pull up your highlighter, okay, under your tools, go to your highlighter, and then you can just draw along the line with your mouse or with your finger. I like my finger because I prefer art a little bit better with my hands. Okay, and once I have this, then what I'm going to do is fade it away as if it was a highlighter. But now in my mind, I can see and put more stress. So I know that if I break above the here, it's a much bigger deal. I'm more likely to go higher. Okay, and until then, it's still a vortex on the underside. So I know that there's a vortex where this angle meets together with here closer to March 17th of 2025. If price is coming up in March 17th of 2025, I'm going to be looking for us to fall. If I'm able to break up and move above here in the next weeks and stuff, that would be really great. Now, because we're on such a sharp downtrend, I am going to pull the volume up and see if I can see buying coming in or a strong buying coming in on the down moves. And it's hard to spot strong buying on the down move. This is actually an up move here. Let's see, this is the increase right here, still at the top. and these are all still at high points. So I'm going to say for a down move, this may not be ready. Up here, I don't see clear buying coming in the market. I did see we come down on no demand into health, and that's a good sign that things are starting to turn around from this moment on. That might be a good thing. Some other individual candles I'm seeing is these down spreads close to these down candles, down bars, with very small spread on really strong volume. That might be a sign there's buying coming in. However, this bar right here may be normally a sign of selling, but the bottom wick is so large, we may actually be dealing with a shakeout. So this also may be a strong indication that the market has turned around, okay, and that there's actually a lot of buying in here. So I'm going to say it's not really clear, so I'm not going to sell market on here, but it is possible that this is a shakeout bar to get out holders in this. Now, I don't see large institutional buying coming in, but it may be being bought up. Now, I'm going to show you one more thing after I take this picture, and this is what I'm seeing. So if I go now to a daily chart, the smaller story within these territories is that there is a parabolic on the downside. Okay, it is approximately here. And so the breakout and new supports based on this calculation are in that area. Now, since I already used ice blue and yellow, I'm going to pick another parabolic, and I'm going to pick the color pink. So this is the color. This is the more immediate parabolic. So again, this is like a smaller story within a larger story. Does that make sense to everybody? When you're seeing the larger story, don't be afraid sometimes to zoom in if the candle still makes sense and draw new structures. That's our stories within stories. So if I know the territory or money to be made is from here to here, I know that's my major resistance. I know that's the major part of the story. Now I can zoom in and play the smaller game. Okay? If you were going to play a game of sports and you want to pick winning players, first you want to make sure that the team is winning, and then you can start working on the individual players. Because the individual wins that you have by a player may not mean much if the team is terrible. So we can actually see what is happening here. Somebody explain to me what might be happening in this area here. What are we looking at potentially that may be confusing to the average human or mind who doesn't understand the flow of price? If all we had is this, it might be looking like price is just shaking out and we don't know what we're looking at. But somebody now explain to us what we might be looking at in lieu of this map. Anyone? Bye, Nolan. Take care. Anyone else? Somebody knows. What was it? Christian says sword cut. There's a sword cut that was created here. Okay, that's great. Somebody says round structure. What round structure? Show us on the screen. She's right, by the way. Can you highlight it? Yep. See, do you see what she drew? Okay. She drew round structure here. She's looking past the noise of the wicks, and she's looking at what's really happening. Okay. What's another way we can look past this noise? Anybody want to draw something past this noise? Quick. Somebody want to draw past the noise? Draw the essence of what is happening. Good job. Did you guys see what she drew? She drew a straight line connecting all the cores, the meat, the core, you name it. Now, how can we use that to make money if we were in the markets? What are we looking at here? We are looking at round structure after prices moved into health, closer to a lower prices that moved into health. So if this was our bottom that we could have calculated based on the curvature of this months in advance, we can actually see it level out here, and price just happens to come down to those supports, and it goes up and it now breaks above a smaller resistance. This is now the fish swimming against the stream. It is this fish. Price has beaten the fish. The larger fish is changing. This fish is now swimming against the stream, so to speak. It is the thing that is going against it is the weak one, because now the sentiment has changed in the market. We're starting to round overall. This is a downtrend. This is a down move, but now we entered into a healthy territory. Now we're going to hunt something. We're going to hunt another down move into health. Now, if I'm playing this game, and the game is, we're down, but we finally moved into health here. Now I need to hunt the down move so I know how to make money. It is this one. So how we can use this to trade is I could do one of two things. I could put a watch line for myself from here to here, but it's not going to help. Does anybody know why it may not help me much? if I put a watch line maybe here? Anybody know why it might not help me, even if I put one? Meaning I put an alert right here, but that alert may not help me. Somebody tell me, what was it?
Because of the many wicks.
That's right. Because of how many times we spiked and hit wick, it's going to happen again, and I may get stopped out. So my best options are to get best prices. Now, what are best prices in this? Somebody circle the area where the best prices are at the moment. There's one answer I'm really looking for, but I'll accept another answer. Okay. Somebody see if you guys can draw it. Best prices area. Oops, hold on. Full screen. There you go. Somebody draw the best prices, or circle the area that has some of the best prices we can buy this at. And why? If you know why. If you don't know why, it's fine. Good job. You see what Christian drew? Christian got it. He drew a circle close as possible to here. By the way, if you guys don't know how to draw on my screen in the live session, click on the 3 dots on your phone and click on more, and one of them is going to say annotate. If you're on your tablet, you're going to see one that says annotate. On the Zoom app, one says annotate. Click on annotate, it'll show some, like a dot, a straight line, a finger. You guys can use all of the above and draw on my chart. And then just make sure you click delete when you're done. But he drew a circle right there. Meaning, if you can't catch the breakout, if I can't catch the breakout and pay a higher price, I at least want the lowest prices, which are close to the sword cut or close to the parabolic. In this case, price is hitting both, and we seem to be getting trapped in here, and we're hitting it nicely. So if you know you're already in a breakout territory by virtue of being here, if you know you're already going up by maybe VSA or the structures, okay, so we can see price bouncing once, twice, 3 times, 4 times even. If I know I'm here, all I'm waiting for is this breakout, then I can take the trade up, or I can just get as close as I can to the line anyway and risk it for the biscuit. So as long as I'm paying somewhere in this quadrant, I'm actually paying some pretty good prices. If I get the breakout, that's a good price too, if price were to close above there. But with all these wicks, it's telling me it's dangerous because I can be buying and chasing the breakout and then price come back down. Buying, chasing the breakout. The best chance for me in this example is probably to get as close as we can to the entry area. And that is here. If we get the breakout, then price phases there. Now, is it possible? So that's how we know the best prices. So if I were to just try to see what prices there are, that would be here. 4 cents. Okay, somewhere closer to 4 cents at sword cut would be fantastic. All right, now somebody tell me one other thing. Just a little teaching moment. Is it possible for us to calculate about how long it should be until there's a breakout, either a false breakout or price goes down, even in worst case scenario, or price goes up? Is there a way we can calculate how high when approximately price should go? And if so, can somebody tell me how to do it or see it or view it? Tell our group how. Okay? Anybody, so we can be enlightened.
Has to make a decision when the blue line meets the sword cut. When the blue line
Meets the sword cut, or it meets the parabolic. So what is she meaning there? What we're meaning is this, we know this goes down along a curvature here. And price has been hitting it and it's bouncing nice. Then we know a smaller move is happening here, as we have seen. So what we can do is we can actually go towards they meet together, and we call that a vortex. And we can see that price can either waste our time by playing in this area. It can bounce around, waste our time. But here, right there in that crevice of time, that's January 7th. And January 7th, price can no longer do that. It's either going to go forward, and that's going to be in a healthy spot for price. It's either going to go down, and that will be a negative spot for price by being virtually on the underside of that area. Or it's going to have its breakout now and be bullish. So 2 chances for it to be bullish, 1 chance for it to be bearish. If it comes into this territory, which is underneath here but on top of here, that's what we call delayed territory, and that wastes our time as well. And we draw these yellow. So if I wanted to put circles to denote this, I can do little circles. And again, I'm just using this as a teaching moment because I have a lot of new people in our community. So I'm trying to show you guys how we can view this. Okay, what are we looking at when we draw maps? Okay, so if I was drawing something, I might look at it something least. That's what I mean by. And then where I put January 7th, we can just type in vortex, and I know that price has a higher chance of making a decision by then. So I can put a little call out and put January 7th vortex. Parentheses, look for price to make a decision. Okay. So we don't have to wait forever. We can actually say, is there a trade coming up? If the trade doesn't pan out by him, or I know to come back by January 7th to see if the trade panned out. And if we're underneath here, I'm going to be like, okay, we'd be looking to come back down to the lower support again. Price couldn't hold. Maybe it's going to spike down. Maybe it's going to come back up. Then I can make a decision. But I know price is going to make a decision based on these angles. Okay, so that makes sense to everybody? This is how we can calculate timing, which is not far away. What, 20 days? Today is the 14th. Something like 20 bucks. 20 days. 20 bucks. 20 days. All right. Watch lines sometimes help us catch breakouts, but if it's just spiking and coming back down, spiking, it's not helping us. Now, would you say, in your opinion, therefore, is it safer to buy today? If you're making a decision for maybe your friend, all right, would you say it might be safer to buy today based on how far price is away from sword cut? Would that be a good price or a bad price? Right now, today's at 0.43 based on the map. What do you think? Is it really risky? At least based on this, is it really risky right now?
It's a good price.
Okay. Someone thinks it's a good price.
I think it's bullish because they just added it to the ANA registry a few days ago.
That might be good.
And it is a prophetic coin too.
Good.
Considering all that, I would say risk it for the biscuit and get the low price now.
Risk it for the biscuit, get the low price now. It might be in a good place. Okay, now I'm going to leave that there, that circle there. Okay. What we're looking for is if we understand everything that we can, or as many factors as we can, and we know what the best prices are, all we have to do is look to see what current price is and to see if we're really close to them. Now, if I'm really high in the air, I'm going to say it could be risky. I may still want the breakout, right? If the breakout happened here, like certain cryptos, they still want the breakout. But ideally, we want to be right in these crevices. And right now, price still being really close to the crevice or really close to supports is a good thing. So in a nutshell, we can assume based on just our map, the closest we are to those lower numbers, that's a good price. So for REN, structurally, it's in a good place and it may have a breakout soon. All right, so let's just put that in our notes, and then I'll leave you guys with that. Okay, December 18th, 2024, this crypto was used as a teaching moment. Okay, this crypto is structurally in a strong position based as shown in today's video. And what was the name of the crypto? REN. I like where this crypto is. Current price 0.043. Resistance is at 0.088. Price already hit that area. Larger next major resistance is at 0.22 cents. Okay. Now, if I wanted to, and I want to take one more moment, just somebody give me an answer. If I wanted to, and I didn't want to use my map right here, calculate how high price may go, how might I also want to calculate that? There's a few ways. There's one I'm looking for in particular, but there's a few ways we can go about this. There's one more way. So I want to say how high price is going to go. Okay? Give a man a fish, he eats for a day. Teach a man a fish, he eats a lifetime. Okay? We can draw some straights. We can look for some breakouts there, yeah. Firecracker drew a flat. Are flats active in this crypto? Somebody show me an example of verification where flats are active. Okay, you guys are doing great. Are flats active in this crypto? A straight line across. There goes Lisa. She drew a line right here. InvestBox drew the line here. Lisa drew the line there. Michelle drew the line there. Good. So are flats active? Yeah, you could say flats are active. Now, what else? Is there another way we can use to calculate how high price is going to go? Because price may come and reach the all-time high. That'd be great. Let's add that one to our chart. Do we notice anything about this match? Who notices what I notice? What do we notice about this?
The flats it's making a mid-phantom. It's like right in the middle of the top flat and the bottom flat. There's a flat right in the middle.
Let's check.
That's what I noticed.
That's awesome. Let's check. Okay. So maybe the mid phantom is somewhere in the middle. Let's see if we can get a better view. Now, this weekly only has maybe the structure here. One can say it's one can say it's a double touch. Maybe we're dealing with a larger structure. One of the clues to give away is we could do core cluster if we want to. I'm not going to do that. We can go to a higher level chart to see where the cores really are at. Are the cores much higher? And they may be. We could see that we have one instance where we're hitting mid phantom, if that's the mid phantom. I'm going to challenge you guys a little bit more.
I don't think that's the mid phantom. I think the bottom flat has to come up to those two peaks right here. And then the mid phantom would be between here and here instead of that bottom one.
Is this still a mid phantom based on this bottom? And here? Possibly. We could be dealing with a larger oscillation, which could put a target or resistance somewhere here. Now, none of these are the answers I really wanted, but it is definitely something we're going to put on the board. 3.5 to 3.2 cents. Okay, 3.5 to 3.2 cents, multi-touch flat. That could be the mid phantom based on this structure, the highest and the lowest in this area, with wick and cores being close to these areas. And another mid phantom being, yeah, it's the one I'm looking for. That's the answer I'm really looking for, because it's going to highlight which ones is probably correct. Okay, it's going to highlight outside of a map. It's going to highlight what we're actually really looking for. Now, to do, we're going to do targeting analysis, which is we're going to pull up our volume and we're going to find our swing target and we're going to find our regular target based on weakness. Now, in this case, I'm going to go all the way down to here, and I'm going to first start there. There we go. 2 targets, 1 and 2. Our swing target in this case, let's see, is going to be this area. It's going to be the same. It's going to overlap. So I'm only going to use 1. All right. Now, if I bring this across, have I hit those targets since I last measured them from here to here? Did I hit those targets yet? This one up here. No. Price only came to about right here, but it hasn't hit here. Okay. The next target is possibly much higher. So let's bring those out. Okay. Which may be closer to the mid phantom of this parabolic if price is playing out in stages. At the moment, I'm going to bring it out here and say that our much larger target is either going to be one of these two areas, either here at 22 or up at 35. But it's going to put a lot of weight for me to be looking to hit into these territories. And possibly if we clear both of them, that'd be very bullish. That would be bullish by sitting on top of the flat. Okay. And up there we have to calculate in advance, but I will give you guys these as part of those. So this is going to put more stress and weight on the top side of the parabolic, which is also part of that oscillation. The average person's going to be probably taking profit here or here, and that's okay, but there's much more money on the board. The real oscillation is here, and our target is there, and we haven't hit there yet. So we're looking primarily to go higher. Then we can make some decisions about going higher after that. But for right now, we're looking to get up there. Okay, so I'm going to put a lot more weight at 22 cents because of this. So let's add that to our text. Accordingly, I also see 0.22 cents as to 30 cents as part of the volume target analysis. And I teach that, by the way, for all you new people in our lessons. Just type in lessons on our lessons page. Just type it on our lessons page. On our search bar, just type in lessons, as I showed you guys before. If you have questions, just shoot me an email. I'll shoot you a screenshot of how to do it right on our website in recent posts. Type in the word lessons. It's going to pull up volume target analysis as part of lessons 1 through 16. What a great teaching moment. You guys are great. Okay, let's continue. I won't do more teaching today. I'm going to do some more cryptos. We covered today in part 1 and 2. Let's look at ACH as I'm pulling this up.
Pastor, what exchange was ran on?
Ooh, that's a good example. A good question. This one I did on Binance.
Okay.
Okay. Ren. I'm sure it can be found on lots of exchanges. Just as a quick look, here's crypto.com, Kraken, Binance, BitKit. Yeah, KuCoin. I'm going to put this one and add this one. Let's see. Did I add that star? Okay, possible long-term bullish. This one needs a pink star, so I need to add that one. Okay, you guys can interpret pink ones like possible long-term bullish or watch type cryptos. You need to watch. REN, we're looking for the breakout on REN. I like where it's sitting at right now based on the structure. So I'm going to, this one, I'm going to add to short-term bullish list. I need to redo this, huh? Oh, okay, I looked at it on KuCoin is how I mapped it. Okay, I need to put this in my commentary. Short-term bullish, yeah. This crypto is in strong position, as shown in the video. Okay. Yep, so this is going to be added, in my opinion. I like enough things about it for me to add it to my short-term bullish. So let me make sure I add 1 star to it. Okay. I'll let you guys take a screenshot. Right now, if you don't have one, go ahead and take a screenshot. All right. So we're going to look at another crypto called ACH. This is one called Alchemy, I think it is. Looks like I've done a map on this previously on Coinbase. Let's see. I think it's been a while since I looked at ACH. Binance. Yeah, okay, so we're going to use Binance. Coinbase doesn't have volume from what I understand. Oh, it does. Okay. Yeah, okay, we'll use Coinbase. It's fine. Okay, so I don't really have a map on this one, so I'm going to draw some things. I like where it's sitting, but I may need to sit on a higher time frame. So let's take a look at, yeah, I like where it's sitting on a monthly chart. So this may actually be a lot longer. The reason, I have reasons for that, primarily because the structures don't make sense on the smaller time frames. You can't really see that we're sitting there. But on a higher time frame, we still have time left to go in the month, but I wouldn't expect for it to do something really good this month because of it. But I think it's going to do good. I think it's going to do good if it can hold this position. That might be something we're going to be looking at. And that's part of that is based on the angle here at the core there. So that's going to be something I'm going to just put up. To denote this, I'm going to put monthly KA or key angle. Okay. And I'm going to give you guys a screenshot about that. All right, let's go back down to the smaller time frame and see if I can find you something else about this crypto. We had some buying coming back in this VZB. When we came back there again after no demand, that was a good sign for price being able to move up. That was a good thing. Of course, we had some strong volume here at the top into weakness, and then we had less volume here into weakness again. Now around structure, but on no demand into health. So I don't really see evidence of clear buying or a buying campaign, but I like where it's at. Now let's calculate about how far we may be able to go. Okay, I believe the oscillation we're looking at may be this. So therefore, we actually may be looking to get somewhere up there as part of our DP. That might be a lot of money that's on the table, 17 cents from 3 cents. So it might be something we're gonna have to deal with. Okay, now let me make some more observations. I can do all things. Okay, I might have to tighten this angle up. Hey, sweetie, how are you doing?
Some more coffee?
More coffee? I don't know. Ooh, what is this? The coffee you made? Yeah.
Right.
Keep it hot. Keep it coming. Thank you, sweetie. Keep it hot. Keep it coming. All right, we got some verification going on here. I think we're gonna have some resistance up here. That's gonna be good. Yep. My son goes, "Are you sure?" Yes, I'm sure. I think this crypto is gonna do well, but the real resistance is gonna be up closer to this angle, and it's gonna be telling before we get up there. Vortex in September 2025. Let's see about this, and here's why. Okay, this is a mid-phantom transformation type of technique. It's a little advanced, but basically, if this is our key angle on the bottom, and for the green set, so just say borrow green, then a mid-phantom is here, and I have verifications for that. In the past, here and here, right there at the core. Okay, let me make my screen bigger so you guys can see what I'm dealing with. Okay, now, if this is the case, I took the distance between the top and the bottom, and I calculated that if we take that distance, we should only go up here, and look what I got here. Am I good or am I good? Listen, that's what my mom always used to say. Am I good or am I good? Core verification here. And when we came down, we came back up right there along that track. So it tells us the angles that we really need to pay attention is this oscillation here. Which means if I break here, I'm most assuredly probably going to hit again at a higher price and confirmation will be here. So therefore, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some angles, and we have therefore a lot of potential on the board for this crypto. I'm going to take some circles, I'm going to take some circles. I'm going to put some up there. We're going to stretch this one out up there. And we have wicks on top as well. So it's very likely we're going to stretch. Now this is going to be decision time at these prices up here, and I'll show you why. If we get here relatively soon, like in December or next year, if I add and tack back on the exception to the rule, which is the wick, you can see that we can clear that and we still have all the way up till February to do. So if price makes a run for it at 17 cents, I actually may consider extending my profit, taking all the way from 17 cents up to 44 cents. Okay, because even if we play this game conservatively, there's room for that wick to stretch us out even past DP projection. So if I'm stopping at DP projection, most likely price is still going to make a mad dash for 44 cents or try to reach out for 44 cents. Now, if it plays out over time, just say like later in the year in 2025, we're able to clear DP projection, it's bouncing on, then we have more room to make money on the table because this 44 cents is dynamic positive. So that means that if price were to do it like next year, we're looking at closer to 73 cents here in October. So that's dynamic positive. And to denote that for you, I'm going to just stretch one out into the future, like in September, or just so you guys can remember, we're not dealing with a flat price. We're dealing with a price that changed. So I'm going to be therefore really looking at this angle up here based on what I've just shown you. Okay. Resistance at 73 based on these people. Price is going up based on the larger oscillation, which is happening. Okay. If price falls, I'm going to be looking for it to fall down to here again at those prices. Current price is 3 cents. This price is 2 cents. So if it goes to 2 cents and has potential to hit up to 44 plus, that's pretty good. The breakout again is here. I'm not expecting the breakout to be this month, although it could. The breakout price is 0.3 cents. So we need it to stay above and fight. Okay. Now, because I don't see large buying in the background, but only some buying in the background, it's not going to have a huge weight for me, but I like where it is and I want to watch it for a close. So I'm going to put this possible long-term bullish with strong potential. ACH, December 14th, 2024. This crypto is currently sitting on a strong position. It's like many cryptos. However, it needs a good close on the monthly chart, as the monthly chart is where the verification is. Okay, that's not on the weekly chart. You can see you can't draw these angles exactly the same, but you can draw them on the monthly and still see it. So we need to watch that monthly close. So the monthly close, December 31st, is important. If price can stay as it is above 0.030, then it has a strong chance to hit, and the number is 8 cents. Holy moly, hit 8 cents. It may be worth the wait on a monthly chart, 0.08 cents. That is already a huge percentage. Look, here to 8 cents, that's pretty good if you can stay above, but you need to watch it for the close. This, therefore, needs to be watched. If price is able to hit its upper phantom, which is the part of the oscillation, as demonstrated in today's video, price may hit 0.44 cents. 44 dynamic positive. Could you imagine if you buy it at 3 cents and price goes all the way up there? That's huge, right? Let's just cover the percentage on the table. 44 cents, that's 1,500%. That's possible on the board. That's huge, 1,400%. Okay, there are cryptos that have moved. Yes?
I think you're gonna have resistances, Tiger.
Yep, you're probably right. Hold on. You may. Somebody want to perform the Tiger analysis. You may also want to do your flats, maybe flats. You're gonna have a few resistances. I'll let you guys do the Tiger if you want, but either way, you're breaking out of the Tiger. So if you're breaking out of the Tiger, you guys can run the analysis if you want. It is a flat line. So flats, therefore, your resistance is going to be a more immediate at here. That was an easy catch. I don't even have to perform Tiger for that. What she means, tell me, is this what you mean? That's your Tiger area, right?
Yes.
If it does, your halfway point is here. It's a flat line. So are you going to deal with flats? Probably. So, okay. So we can list that flat, and you can use that as another entry if you need to. Or potential profit taking. All right, there we go. Any other questions for me for ACH? I hope it does well. It's got a good chance now. I like it. There's your map. There's your friendly crypto map. May God bless you. And let's hope Price is able to navigate this map really well, and you're able to navigate the map. Okay? So when Price is in certain territories months in advance, you guys know what you're dealing with. Got it? Take a screenshot now. Make sure you get my good side, my Frosty the Snowman t-shirt. Well, backwards. It's not backwards. It's backwards in your video. Frosty Snowman. I watched him growing up. Favorite. All right. Okay. Everybody got it? We're going to do DBR. What is that? DBR. Okay, if you missed any part of the show today, go ahead and look at what you're here. You may want to watch today's video. Come back to today's video. Is this of our D-Bridge? Is this D-Bridge? Is the person who asked for DBR, they in the group today? Please unmute your microphones if you requested DBR. We did DGB. I'm going to the chat. One moment. Okay, one moment.
There's a DBR called DE Bridge,
Yeah.
which is pretty popular on CoinMarketCap.
Okay, then maybe it's been asked for. Okay, but we'll do DBR, which is D-Bridge. And it's weird because I've never heard that word before, but Melody said that word 3 times this week. Okay, so let's take a look. Because I said, I need a bridge, and she said, you need a D-Bridge? And I'm like, why does she keep adding a D? There's no D to the word, but she kept saying it over and over again. I don't know. Maybe it means something. I don't know. Okay, interesting. Okay, strong volume in the down area, but we're moving up on low or no demand. However, when we're challenging the top here, there was still some volume. I'm going to be a little bit careful with this one, so I'll just draw a few options for you. Somebody asking for it. If somebody was asking for it, I hope you do well. Interesting. Okay, you're still in the territory right now. It's a little bit bullish. There's something else as well. There is a parabolic on this side. Let me make it big for you guys. And price actually may be sitting in a nice spot. You do have to deal with the wick side because the wick is also in alignment, and it is there. This one has a verification in the past. So I'm going to be looking primarily at this being possibly bullish right now, but the more big bullish area is actually going to be coming up there, above there, and the price is 0.33. Okay, the lower price here, and the bottom parabolic being still on the board is down here. Okay, anybody have any questions? This crypto D-Bridge. Yep, I'm going to be really looking at this area up there. Okay, going once, going twice. All right, let's move on. Okay, the next crypto, Bone, another one of the dog coins crypto. We'll be back tomorrow with WordRoom at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join us for our WordRoom message. I hope you guys are there. We got a big announcement that's coming up for, I believe, February. Vibrant is going to be hosting a very special class. We're going to be speaking about it. It's available for dive tier people. There's going to be a very special class. I'm not sending details just yet. I'm waiting for the flyer with the updated times. But it looks like it's going to be in February at the moment. We're working it out for February. So I'll be attending like a special conference, online conference, this one. She's going to be sharing some more details this coming month. All right, so here's a crypto called Bone. Let's look at it on, let's see, I got OKX. Is this the current price, 59 cents? Or is this for, I think this one, SHIBA swap, right? Yeah, it should be this one, right? Looks like it's on Polinex as well, but there's two different big prices. Anybody know the current price for the one you're looking for?
I'm trying to look on Uphold right now.
Oh, looks like I might have a map for it on MEXC. Let's see, maybe that one. Ah, yeah. Okay, so let's do that one. The previous map, MEXC. Okay, looks like I got a map for it pretty decently. Oh, it looks like we had a health that was here in this area, and price moved up from that area and moved up to the top part, 75 cents. Hit 75 cents, came down. Okay, that's basically the DP based on this oscillation from our previous map. Looks like it's holding up pretty nice. So we're looking to duplicate that distance on the top side. That's where price hit. That's where our first pullback is. If we get a pullback to these areas, though, I'm going to draw the sword cut for you. So this is I guess this is not much of a new thing for this crypto. There's your little sword cut. Price played it really tight. It's along the same curvature, so it's not really a point to draw too much sword cut, but that's basically the area. Now, if price comes back down, it's also going to be where this parabolic levels out, and the health will still be in this area. Yep. So we still need to get above some of these areas. I'll just push them up a little bit closer so you guys know they're more in alignment with today. All right, price pump the last 24 hours. Look for this close above the sword cut. Okay, that may have been an older map. Okay, November 2020. Yeah, we got a monthly resistance that is still above this area, so we want to make sure that you can see on the daily chart was disrespecting that line, but on the monthly it's quite respected. Okay, so I really want some monthly closes above $1 and these prices before I do anything really dramatic or drastic. So I think bone, you're going to be able to get a chance to come down possibly to those 44-cent prices. You know, you may be able to do that. Might be quite nice. And then we can see where we go from there. Most likely that's going to be your balance that you need. Flats appear to be active for bone. We had here's the core, wick here on the wick side. So I think the wicks are going to have it. So I'm going to highlight, make sure you guys know the wicks are primarily what we're expecting. That's $2.09 and $1.76. That'd be nice, right? This is going to see, I'm going to put PA monthly. Okay. There's your Phantom monthly. Okay, here it is. Lower prices again as 33 cents, 28 cents if you get them. But right now our biggest entries are probably going to be here. If you guys were looking to take profit, 75 cents was that time to take profit. Possibly here before we come back. Now, do I see large buying in this crypto? Let's see. I do not, but I do see some pushing volume that happened as we clear this area. So that tells us it's intentional. So therefore, I'm going to be, current price is 59, but I'm going to be looking for 45 cents. I'm going to be looking for this to be intentional. So I'm just going to mark that on your chart. Right here, it's a pushing. That's a good thing for this crypto. I think Bone's still going to do well. Triple J had said Abba's been speaking to her about Bone, Songbird, Flare back in July. Okay. Now, if this is an oscillation up here, we want to also, if this is our main oscillation, and it's not exactly this, but it's actually, if we get the bounce here, then the oscillation is actually this one. So therefore, our new DP is going to be much higher, closer to $11, which will be great for higher prices. So let's just add that on there for you guys. I'm going to be conservative a little bit with this one. Okay. Yep, we might be looking for prices up in the sky somewhere closer to $12, which is similar like XRP. $12 being one of our resistant area, $13 area. So 12.52 and $10.56 more conservatively. That's going to be somewhere on the board for you guys if you can get there. Oops, let me try that again. Okay. So this one, in my opinion, needs to come down a little bit more. Bone needs to come down. It's probably one of the dogs that needs to take off, but there's probably going to be other dogs that are going to take off more faster or better. Look for like the Doge and maybe something like SHIBA, which is already in position to take off better. Now, if Bone comes down more so in the next week or so to 45 cents, then it may be ready to run with the other dogs. But otherwise, some of these other dogs will just take off before us. Do I have any other questions for Bone? Why is it taking XC?
Thank you.
Okay, for you short-term traders, you may be entering in a weakness. Here's one more thing for you guys. If I look on the daily chart, you may be looking at some weakness appearing soon. Okay, you get some more closes in this side of price without coming back up there or on a parabolic, you may be looking to come down. Okay, so I'll just take that screenshot for you guys. Looking at bone, you may want to, again, be looking at taking profit. We hit our resistance, so taking profit might be a smarter move for you. But make sure you set your alerts at the bottom area. If you're planning on buying bone again, then you're going to be in position for a large run, possibly a large run. Okay. All right. A lot of cryptos, and some of them are strong positions. Some of them are looking really nice. Hope you guys do well with some of these cryptos. Okay. All right. One more crypto. Any other questions for bone? Any questions? Bone, my friends. Okay. The last crypto for today is going to be DAG. And then I will have some screenshots. If you guys want some screenshots, you'll let me know. And then I'll be out of your hair. I'll take about 10 minutes to do screenshots if you guys want. But here's DAG. Here's a chart for DAG. Let's see, Constellation. I thought I had a map for DAG. Let's pull up some charts. Okay. So it looks like I have one on KuCoin, or an older map on KuCoin. Alrighty. Am I missing some stuff on here so far? Oh, it's still loading. Okay, good. Alright, needs to load. That's an older DAG map. DAG Nabbit. Oh, I used this one to teach volume zone blocks. I believe I used this one to teach VZB. Alright. Here we go. Here we go. It's a me. Okay. Alright. Looks like, we got our last breakout for DAG up here, and we needed a breakout above here, and we got both. This area was our resistance. It looks like we hit it one, came down twice, right there on November 12th, came down, and then we got our breakout into the health, which is a price being above here. And then from here, we're looking to hit the resistance. We hit the resistance, stopped 1, 2, 3 on the daily chart for just 3 days, and then we broke above, got the closes above, and we were able to move above. So this is what I mean by using highlighters to help us capture a lot of what's going on. By the way, here's our downtrend, and then price moved into bounce right nicely on a sword cut right there in that area. That was really good. And then this looks similar to a crypto we were looking at, right? Look at this crypto. Okay, look at the shapes. And I'm going to show you from our images today. Doesn't that remind you of something? Okay. This was a zoomed in look right there on these candles. Okay. This was that crypto for REN, right? Right there in that area, REN. See? Look at the formations on top of a sword cut. Look at this. Look at that. Come up, come down, come up, come down. All right there. Still in the sword cut. That's a very good thing. Here's another messy look, but the oscillation still holds. Boom, boom, sword cut in addition to a large flat. Is it a big surprise we're able to, because we're building above here. It's like when the Lord showed me that vision of sitting on top of the large blue flat months ago, right? I called it. I told you guys on YouTube. The Bitcoin sitting on a strong position. Look for it to do well, okay? Look for that price to sit on a blue flat. Anyways, now back in the day when I was doing buying, I just listed it as B's, but now we're shifted over to the arrows. The arrows we're using. So let's clean up this map a little bit. I use that. You guys can see that. Look at, like, this was from October 2021. Sorry, October 2024 for the full video. DAG appears to be more healthy with a few reasons. We have multi-touch blue flat. So if you guys did well from DAG back in October, I hope you guys are doing good. Okay. If you did good with DAG based on our map, then I love to hear you guys. Don't forget to let me know if the maps are helping you guys from time to time. I love to hear the feedback, the good feedback. I can't take criticism so well. So. Your chart, man. Oh my gosh. I can't catch everything. I can catch a lot of stuff. We can catch a lot of stuff in the data. Okay, so let's give you guys some new areas. I want to put something on here. Hit real quick. Sometimes you have to not toot your own horn, but you have to show some stuff. Otherwise, people have a hard time trying to understand or believe that you can actually map out price and see important areas before they happen. Because it's very much calculable, very calculatable. Okay, a lot of this stuff you can catch. That's that. So now the next big support is therefore still along this track in a positive way. Okay. Now, the way we can do this is we can say, hey, are we going to get a full back to here? If so, I need to borrow or draw a sword cut. I'm going to use a sword cut right there at the break. And why? Because we went up significantly. So price may actually not come back exactly to the lower part, but we could come back here and anytime in the next season, it's all in the same area. So I'm not worried so much. Now I'm going to show you here at 0.52 might be a good price to buy this. Now eventually when we're down here, we want to draw another watch line. But as it is, we do have one single watch line that we can draw. So if you guys wanted to draw and set an alert, don't be surprised if you come to some kind of support somewhere at a vortex around January 17th. Okay, so I'm going to, for myself, use the wick side, and then I'm going to set an alert. So I'm going to put watch line, watch DAG to see it come down to good prices around 0.05 cents. Okay, 0.52 cents. Okay, 0.052 cents. Current price is 0.053 cents. Oh, sorry, current price is 0.69. Did I set my alarm right? Current price is 0.63 cents. Okay, so we're up here closer to 6.9. I'm looking for it to be a little bit better. I like that we broke out, but I want to pull back. That's how I like it. Okay, and then we're going to calculate some more moves up in the top when those days happen. So right now I'm not going to add this to my longer term bullish list, but when it's time, I might actually just add those numbers right there, those angles, and bring it up to the top. So let me show this in white. Okay. We actually may be, since we have round structure here, we may be dealing with a stronger move. 1, 2, 3, the peak, and some of the clues are we hit along that track 1 and 2. You don't know if you guys can see it, but it's there on July of 2021. So years ago. Okay, that might be a clue that the real resistance for DAG is somewhere really high in the sky at around $1.24. Now, if DAG can get into those areas after a breakout from 5 cents up to $1, you'll be sitting really pretty, right? That's wealth transfer moves. If I get a pullback there and I move up 2,000%, that's a pretty big wealth transfer move for you, some of you guys. Okay, so that I hope that blesses you when it's time. There's other things you can calculate on the way, but I've already identified, it looks like some buying in the background using this. Now I'm going to simplify the view to a weekly chart to simplify it. Triple J says, I hear Abyssinia will go sky high. Here we go. Yep, there's the buying in the background. Okay, so I'm going to put some arrows, and this is going to therefore be added to my longer term bullish list. And as I gave you guys tutorials in the back in the previous times, I gave you guys some tutorials using volume zone block and DAG. So all those kudos to those who, I don't know what kudos means, but you can have it, for those who showed up. Okay, so this is old, so I'm gonna just borrow this one real quick. Yeah, I guess I'll borrow this one. Let's make another one. Okay, so let's change the date to today's date, December 14, 2024. DAG appears to be healthy with a few reasons. Multi-touch flat, blue. We have accumulation from professional money coming in the zone block 3 times. In the pink, block 3 times. We have price resting on sword cut break. That was great. All of that was great. I had band pullback. Let me just, I'm gonna keep those 2. Please see today's video for more information. DAG needs another pullback for anyone who is trying to get a best price. Those prices are closer towards 0.052 area. We also, this crypto has buying in the background. From my last call in the October, price has moved up quite nicely, and it was October 21st, right? 2024. Price has moved up quite nicely. Price has potential to hit $1.24 based on some verification and verification of the phantom angle. Current price is 0.069. If there is a pullback with strong entry, I would like to enter long term. In addition, a new watch line with an alert has been created. So I like this. I'm going to put it in a long-term bullish wait for entry. Okay, wait for entry. You may want to possibly wait for entry because we're still high off of the entry. You may not get it, and price could just break out. So that would be an entry. Okay, just if you're watching this video, you may need to get the breakout there above that area, and then you can go. But as it is, it's still in the lower parts of it, and with buying in the background, this one has my seal of approval, just not the seal of timing. Okay, possibly wait for entry. So there's a lot of other cryptos that seem to be more in a better position. This one needs to wait a little bit. Okay, I'm going to put some circles on here. You guys can zoom in. I'll be looking for bullishness here. Then I'll be looking for, and there's more resistances we can catch, but that's basically breakout area. Okay. All right. I'll take a few more screenshots from today. Anyone have any other questions for me? DAG. What's the entry? Closer to 5 cents? 052. And then we need to draw that watch line. Let my chart load a little bit. I want to draw this watch line here, set an alert on it on the wick side. So just draw those wicks together right there. And then once price hits, you may be wanting to watch this. Otherwise, price will fall a little bit lower to these areas, and then you can get in. Okay. The breakout right now would be a little bit higher in the sky, and you could get it and then take it off, and that means that you got the best prices. But I think that if this can pull down, possibly in one of the two moves on USDT.D, you're going to be ready for a good shot in the sky. Oh, and I needed to put Triple J's prophecy. What she said, JJJ, she said, and this is December 14, 2024. She said, I hear Abba saying it will go sky high. Thank you, Triple J. Anyone else? DAG. Going once. Going twice. Watch line. Okay, watch that one.
He prophesies about this coin a lot. He has a lot of videos about it.
Who prophesies a lot about it?
Really hot. Kevin Drake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Royal says Robin Cunningham said something long term.
I'm not sure if Robert did, but Kevin Drake.
Okay.
It's a prophetic coin.
Royal says Moonshot is probably right. All right. So we finished up today. At this moment, we're going to be ending our video in just a few moments. If you guys are in live session, thank you for joining us. I'll be here tomorrow for WordRoom for our online message. You guys want to join us? I would love you guys to join us for our online service. Melody and I will be here. And then if you had crypto screenshots, we can add them at this moment. So if you just need like a screenshot of a map I already did, you want to get an update on that, go ahead and show me a request. I'll take about a few. Okay. This time, so just unmute your microphone or raise your hand.
Have you had any alerts that went off this week? Like any?
Yeah, let's take a look.
Did any of your alerts go?
Oh, all the time. Let's go all the time. Here, let's see. Okay, those ones are created. Hippo in possible breakout area. Let's see. Was that created up there? No, not yet. It's still in the bottom part. Let me see. If I'm reading this correctly. How do I filter ones hitting? Not just created. Okay, those are just active. I think that means created. Let's check BMAX. I know BMAX hit its target. I got out for some profit right at my target at 39 cents. 0.39 cents. So right at the top, I hit my target. Price came down. Our last entry closer to here and here for BMX. Yeah, let's see. There was a alert hit for me, but I had my sell in my exchange. Let's see, BepBro breaking out. Let's see, I think that's an older one. Okay, our last health here, BepBro resistance. Oh, this needs to be raised. Oh yeah, see, it is right. Okay, so our last resistance being here, price needs to clear above these areas, but we only came up here, spiked to the top part of this area. Very messy, spikes in and out, so you have to use higher time frames for these. Let's check the weekly chart. Yep, just a long wick to the top side, came right back down. We haven't cleared this area, so it's still bearish. Okay, if prices go down, we're going to come under here. BREPRO needs another breakout. We need to get some closes above there. We got 1 day and 6 hours left to do it for this week. It didn't close last week above that area. We just stopped right underneath that area for BEPRO last week. So that's actually not the best for BEPRO, the watch line, or the verified larger watch line. Here, we can still watch it for the breakout, but just because it touches an alert or touches that area doesn't mean it's got to close in that area. Oops. Doesn't mean it's got to close in that area. So I don't always put too much weight on all the alerts because prices, as soon as it just touches them, I get a notification to watch it. And there's too much to watch. Way too much to watch. Let's see, near, price of near is a good number. It's at a good number. What's a number? It's like a number, but at the, I like this price for near. Price sitting on top of a breakout for near. I think near's in a good place here. That's a good one for near. Okay. That's one of the healths. I need to remember, guys, remind you, there's a bigger resistance still on the top side with 2 points of verification in the past. So 1, 2, along that track, that's based on the key angle where we hit it. 1, 2, 3. So really, the real buy is above $8. Okay, just remember that. This is a health, but there's not much money on the table. But it is, if you're going to buy near anyway, that's a good price. We didn't come back down to the lower parabolic, so if price hits it, don't be surprised if we come back down here. The real buy is above 830. Yeah, those are some of the alerts that I got. Crossing active line, a weekly line. Anyone else have questions for updated screenshots?
Question, but it's not a new crypto.
Yeah.
Is that okay? Great. Sorry, I've been in and out running kids and bringing them around. Grandma, please forgive me if I repeat a question that somebody asked and answered. We're just going through, roasted something and hearing a bunch of different stuff and factoring in what you had said and you had shared about your prophecy and what I'd heard someone else say about repeating itself and the markets moving in the same, very similar to last bull run in this time of year, post-Christmas. Just wondering if you had any insights or things that you apply during these times in terms of deciding like how much to get out or when you get out, if it looks like it might be bearish like the last week or so before the new year, something like that.
For me, I have a very wide range of where I'm going to get out if I'm going to flip my positions on something based on weakness. And the big reason is for that is the USDT.D. I talk about it all the time, but if you look at it, we cleared the area in a single day for our resistances for USDT.D. A single day. And I had a conversation with you guys a couple weeks ago on WordRoom where we're drawing the watch line on this area. I'm going to show it to you guys so you guys have it. The watch line was here, and I drew this for you guys. And at the time, I think I even pulled up, was it a 4-hour chart? Yeah. Yep. It was a small chart. And I said to you, there's a watch line here somewhere along this track. And ideally, I would want, if price were to come here, then I could take some profit, okay, and some cryptos and look to get back in a little bit later at some cheaper prices. And that's why I said at the end of WordRoom. I don't normally do charts or anything like that in WordRoom, but I told you guys that about USDT.D. The problem was, in a single day, when we were here talking about it, we hit it, okay? And then this is a 4-hour chart? It was just a single day that price did that. And that was the first time we pulled back to USDT.D. Now, it would have been nice to walk away from the market like at the very top like a boss and then come back in like a boss. But if the moves happen so quickly that my lifestyle doesn't affect where I can buy and sell, then I need to leave it alone. And that's the lesson I'm getting at. That some of these moves are going to happen really quickly, so we really shouldn't be worried about buying or selling or trading, especially if the holidays are already stressful enough. Based on sometimes maybe what you guys, you feel around the holidays. Sometimes they say it's one of the most stressful times of year because sometimes there's you see everybody getting something for their child. So you feel a little bit of obligation. And sometimes that can mean like, oh, maybe I need to withdraw from my cryptos. And maybe you shouldn't be thinking about withdrawing from your cryptos at now. You have to get aside with the Spirit of the Lord and see what the Lord is really leading you. Because it can be hard to really time it. Here's another example on the daily chart. So you can see we went up in a single day, cleared that territory. The next watch line was this one. And I told you guys about this one last week. And I said, again, at the end of the WordRoom, we were right here. I said, hey, This could close here, but all these other candles are here. Look at the wide range. They're really wide. So I have to give a wide berth for error. And the move, or not error, but moves. And I said this could hit, and it could hit over. And I said this, it can be several months. It could be several weeks. Or it can even be in a single day as it was last time. And I reminded you guys I had that conversation there, right? Sure enough, right after WordRoom's over, I take a nap, I wake up, and we hit it in a single day. It was not unexpected because we already know the range which candles are trading at. So these candles are already trading that wide. So this is not the intraday game. If you do it, it's very complex to do it. Instead, it's better to play the longer game and just have peace, which a lot of people need to do. This is round structure into weakness. This is round structure into weakness. We're still all in a weakness territory. That's a game played years long. Years. Okay, look at this. My internet's slow. I'm sorry, guys. But remember, the game is years long. So once we're under that pink line, I already know I can kick back and rest. Markets are going to go up and down, but as long as primarily I'm still respecting this pink line, which we have, see, look at years later. As long as I'm still playing and respecting this pink line, let me pull up the 2-week chart to simplify things, I can have peace. And you guys can too. But I want you to know, look at your fellow member in the chat. Look at the fellow person in Dive VIP. You guys are playing like some of you guys are playing a real short game and your neighbor is playing a really longer game. So when you're talking, you're sometimes not speaking the same language and you think you are. And you have to be careful about that. Everyone has to pray to the Lord themselves for their own individual plan. Some of you don't have the lifestyle that supports intraday trading. Even me, I don't like to intraday trade because I have too many maps. I have too many price charts. I have all of you guys' charts in my mind sometimes, and I have to refresh my mind. If it was just one crypto or two or maybe even three, I could easily do it. These 15-minute charts in and out. In fact, at times I've tried to do them with groups of people a couple of years ago, but if I'm like taking a break or lunch or I missed something or I didn't calculate every single more variable, the variables on the larger story and the variables on the smaller story, then it gets very difficult to draw and keep track of it's like playing chess against 20 players all at once. You're liable to make more of a mistake. So instead, have peace. For me, that's how I navigate. That's my advice. For peace, for you guys who are just playing the longer game, get outside the mind of where you're at, that mindset of thinking so quick. Slow it down and watch the real games unfolding because it's actually much slower than you think. The moves are much slower than you think. It's just round structure underneath a strong resistance. That's all it is, like over and over again, no matter how we paint it. You can get in micromanaging these moves to try and get every single up and down. But the truth is, these are supposed to be lower prices for crypto before the move. 1 week, 2 weeks, move. 1 week, 2 weeks, move. We know where we're going. We can track. We even know the very bottom. It's here, that yellow line. That's the line that's been the bottom for years since 2017. And we're coming down underneath the last resistance. Come on, you can't tell me we're not going back down here. And that means the markets should be bullish, and they should have been bullish exactly where we called it, and they should be bullish now. So I'm not worried about so much this. I can try to track those little movements, and you can, but remember, it could be messy. We could even be going up again because look, we're sitting on a smaller parabolic on here. How strong is this curve? Is that where it is? I don't know. I know a lot of cryptos are sitting in a good position. I don't think this structure here, though it's enough to bring us up here, I don't think it's enough for us to change the game at all. So even if I have a withdrawal, even if I go down even more for a third time, I'm still going to be bullish the market as long as this exists. And therefore, I chose not to panic so much about it. If the Lord allows us to come here, maybe I'm going to get some more cryptos. Otherwise, at every time we get a pullback on some of the structures, I'm still going to be thinking with my heart and my mind, I know where we're going. So I want to have peace in that sense. Okay, so these are just ways that I use to navigate. By the way, if you guys are unfamiliar with my USDT.D section, rewind the video to the very beginning, and I give you a good explanation of what's happening this week on USDT.D. The moves I saw in my dreams, the moves I saw in my visions, I'll show it to you guys, the picture again, and I'll leave it on the screen so you guys have it. There it is. Okay, one move here. a bounce. One move here, that round shape, that curved shape, I saw it in a dream. I saw XRP also in a curved shape coming underneath like that. So I know that XRP has a pullback. I believe it's at $5. I think there's going to be a bounce. It's not so far away. And then I saw us going underneath this white line because I knew we had broken above it. So I know we're going to have 2 bounces, therefore. 2 more bull moves. 1, 2. It could be now. It could be up there, but it's coming. And I want to be in position. Does that make sense? Does that help everybody? At least from my thoughts. Robin Cunningham said
That's
people.
super. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll just read and chat.
No, I was just going to say that's super helpful. I have a sort of a life and sports background, which is a little bit like military. You need to move yesterday. You need to be here. Instancy, chop, let's go. So I have a propensity to think that way. Thank you. Hearing that's very helpful.
Yeah, isn't it just the opposite? Who alone is in that thought? When you guys came into Crypto Sphere, before many of you met me, you were playing the game very rapidly. Anybody? I know Superfood. Yeah, Jeff.
Are we now at which stage?
I'm sorry, what?
Where are we now at the moment, USDT?
We're at 396. This is where we're at right now. Right there. Sitting on top of this area.
Okay.
Is this,
Okay.
that would mean that this would have to be strong enough to bounce us one more time? It's possible, and then we're just going to cut those 2 bottoms. But I'm not so much in that camp just yet. Any of you who are wanting to micro trade this a little bit, you're going to want to see if there's a strong parabolic on maybe a 12-hour chart. I'll do it for you right now for some of you guys who are in that camp. Otherwise, just please keep the theme of what I'm talking about. Remember my prophecy from today. There's poison that's being fed to some of us. But the Lord showed me it wouldn't harm me. But a lot of people, it affects a lot of people because everyone was trying to influence what I'm ordering and also asking me to order something so that they would eat the things I'm ordering. Okay? Watch the video of that today and you're going to see, because what I'm getting at, yeah, I don't see any parabolic curve here, so I'm not going to be so interested in that. What I'm getting at, and I believe the Lord was trying to get at me, is that I've decided to eat the meal that I've decided to eat. I know what I'm going to be ordering. And when I order it, everyone was coming up to me saying, hey, Jason, can you also order a side of corn and mashed potatoes? Because they want to glean off of what I'm ordering. And some people wanting to change completely what I'm ordering. But the Lord is having me focus, because sometimes the things that are being presented to me were actually not good or poison. And people were coming to me from all nations and all places in the dream and all nationalities. And I saw various people. But it didn't stop. And then when I saw the buffet of stuff that was still available for me, I still decided, hey, just because there's all this stuff, not everything is good. And something was presented to me and it was actually poison. But I knew by the taste. I said, I don't want that. But I knew it was poison. When you guys go online, you're online on YouTube, you're going to be bombarded by a lot of stuff. And every one of you should take this opportunity to pray and say, Lord, what is the meat and potatoes that I should be focused on? For some of you, that may be 1 or 2 or 3 crypto. Some of you, it's going to be the 7, because the Bible says invest in 7 ventures, for you do not know what will befall the land. Some of you, you're just to be more single-minded. I know some of you in the individual, the Lord only showed you 1 crypto. And you're still watching me because you're concerned about lots of stuff, but the Lord only showed you 1 crypto. It's hard because if everything pops up around you and that crypto doesn't go, you won't win as big. But some of you, if you win really big by investing in that 1 crypto, and that's the first to pop off, then you now have wealth for other cryptos that you wouldn't have before. To determine these things, you have to go before the Lord yourself. Everyone has to go before the Lord and say, Lord, what is the plan for my life? Because the Lord knows my greeds. If the Lord told you, this is the one that's going to move up tomorrow, the only one that's going to move up tomorrow, you can develop quickly a spirit of greed, even if you are right. Even if you're right and as I preached the other day about the Lord's blessings on WordRoom, that if the Lord moves you into a place before you're ready, and I gave you examples of how he did it in last week's sermon, okay? Watch that sermon. It was a powerful message. Oh my gosh, I loved the sermons the last 2 weeks, and it's been fantastic. And I want you to understand that the Lord has a dilemma with some of us. He even explained to Moses his dilemma, as I preached and explained to in the sermon. But some of those dilemmas still carry over into your lives. If he prospers you before the times or the character that you need to develop it, you can quickly change. And some of this wealth transfer is going to reveal a lot of things about yourself. Take a moment. Examine yourself. As the Bible says, examine yourself to see if you be in the faith. You can take this moment, examine yourself to see how the winning's affecting you. It's okay to do your happy dance and everything, but you're going to understand where's that spirit of greed. We always need to be aware of the side of us, the fleshly side of us that is awakened. Just it's awakened in a lot of things that are good for you. It's awakened in sex. Sex is really good in marriage, but it can be awakened externally, and then it can get you into big trouble. It can lead you down to a perverse lifestyle. There's nothing wrong with sex, but there's rules and boundaries. If you become sexually aroused, then you start being aware, hey, where is the line? Where's the barrier here? And if you're not walking or living with rules or barriers, then you're going to live fleshly, soulishly, and you're going to find yourself walking into sin. So we have to get with the Holy Spirit and let Holy Spirit start giving us conviction of sin and conviction of greed and conviction of fear. And we counter fear in markets all the time, right? Every time we go to a crypto sphere, it's like we're walking into a casino. And some of us, you're like, I'll never walk into a casino, but you're gambling when you're crypto trading. For some of you, you're gambling. Some of you, you're not gambling. Some of you, you are being tempted with all. And the Lord knows that even though you need to participate this. Let me break it down. One last thing. Stick with me for 3 more minutes. Please listen carefully, everyone. Listen carefully, everyone, I'm about to say. I'm about to just preach something quickly. Never forget what I'm about to say. The wealth transfer was good, and God gave gold to them. But the dilemma was that the gold quickly became a golden calf, and they worshipped him. So should God never have given them the gold? Was it God's fault? No, because he needed that gold in their generations. They needed that gold to do things. They needed that blessing. But the blessing became a point of temptation for them because their character was not ready. And do you need to be in the crypto space? Many of you need to be. But it doesn't mean you have to just turn off your rules, turn off your sensibilities, and not be ready in case those very things that are the blessing turn into your gods. Or the very things that were your blessings now turn into your temptations and your detriments and your curses. They left the Lord. Some of them were killed by the Levites just right there. In the movie, Moses, the ground opens up. But in real life, it was the Levites who strapped on the sword and went among the camp. And just, they weren't expecting. All of a sudden, they're dying. A great whale's coming out. A great wailing. A whale like a boat. There was crying because they turn around. One moment they're celebrating. The next minute they're being slaughtered. Why? Because the gold, the blessing that God wanted to give them was more than they can handle. So we have to be aware that the gold can have a power over us if we let it. That's what I'm trying to say. Keep that in your mind, my friend, as you enter the markets. Every time you pull up the exchange, look at your heart. If you're feeling like you're in a casino, something's wrong. Okay? And that's including me, right? If XRP goes up $1 million, do your happy dance, then slap yourself in the face and get serious about it. There's a purpose for it. It's a business. It's a farming. It's great to celebrate your Thanksgiving at the time of harvest. But you can turn it into a casino and mess yourself up big time. And that's why I always say not everyone's supposed to be a part of wealth transfer. We have to be real careful about who we invite also into wealth transfer. It can mess them up. Anyway, all right. Paul says, this group has grounded me. We're also susceptible to greed, envy, and selfishness. I keep speaking with my wife on how we need to be cautious with pride and external satisfaction. We need to constantly humble ourselves before the Lord and slow down. I love this group. Yes, remember, we humble ourselves, God will exalt us. But if we exalt ourselves, then God will humble us. So it's better, therefore, to humble ourselves now. And I received this prophecy. I spoke at the Crypto Christian Conference. And one of the prophetic speakers who was there at the end, she came up to me afterwards, the event, and she prophesied many things. So one of the things she said to me, she said lots of great things. But one of the things she says is that the higher you go, the lower you're going to need to go. You're going to need to lay prostrate before the Lord. And that is to lay flat before the Lord. I already know it because I've been receiving this word for a couple years back. That the higher I go, the more I'm going to need to go lower before the Lord. And that Lord will never have a problem taking me higher. Abraham, super rich. He was actually a king of the land. A lot of people don't understand he was a king. His son, Levi, was the one who passed on kingship. It was actually supposed to be to Reuben. But when Reuben sinned, it was split. Sorry, not Levi, Judah. And the kingship specifically went to Judah. He was a king. The kings of the land that he defeated, Abraham defeated, all went to Abraham and the wealth thereof. They kept blessing him because they knew he was a king, although he wasn't identified as a king. He knew the land had been given into his hand, and the kings of the land knew it was given into the hands of them and their sons. So what I'm saying is, just because you're king of the land doesn't mean you need to be arrogant. You have to be and allow God to humble you. Abraham was so humble. He invited people in his own house all the time. He provided special booths and stuff to feed people who were needed and travelers through. He would bind up their wounds. There's a lot of stuff about Abraham that's not written in the Bible, but if you look in like the book of Joshua or some other texts, you're going to find a lot of stuff about Abraham you didn't know. He's a very humble and good man. Or Moses, the great leader Moses, the Bible says the most humble man who walked the face of the earth. Or Job, who was the richest man in the world, the richest man in the East, Job, the very rich man. And he would wake up every morning sacrificing and praying for his children, saying, Lord, maybe they sinned against you, but I'm going to pray for you. Pray for the children because maybe they sinned against you. He's always thinking, Lord, am I in good grace? Am I in good graces? Am my children in good grace with you? He's constantly not thinking like, oh, everything's fine. No, he's thinking, Lord, you got to save my children. You got to save their souls. He's thinking externally. In a spiritual way. See, you can be the richest in the world, but don't lose that part of yourself where you're like, Lord, this is my family I'm praying for their souls, because money can't save them. It can destroy them, but it can't save them. Money can be a powerful tool, but it can't save anyone's soul, not even our own, as we read earlier in WordRoom. Amen. Royal says he must increase, but I must decrease. Hallelujah. All right, I'm going to leave you guys here. And we'll end this recording. Father, we thank you for this group of people. I thank you, Lord, for the maps and charts. I pray that we would steady ourselves and steady our hearts during the times we need to. It's great to have visual cues, such as the map or price charts or skills or any kind of prophetic or even hearing for the future things. I thank you for the visions and the dreams. I also pray that our community would be guarded against the corruption. From the poison by all the external factors, whether our brothers or sisters or friends, relatives, YouTube, even me, or by our own greed, that we would not be compelled to chase things we're not supposed to chase. Show every person in our community what are the meat and potatoes. Show them what is ordered for them and help them to stick to their meals. If they stretch themselves, I pray that they would do so with wisdom. And I pray that they would do so with your spirit leading and guiding them. It's great to see all of these things, Lord, but I pray that we would not lose sight of what you're trying to share with us and show us. And I pray that we would not be blinded by our own greed or feeling like this is a race, because we're not racing to have the most wealth. Board games are fun, but this is real life. We're not competing against anyone. Who cares if we have the biggest yacht? Even the billionaires of the world compete against each other. What foolishness. Let us all be content with what you've given us. If you've given us a small seed, we'll be happy with it. If you've given us a large seed, we'll be happy with it. I pray for those who need a seed, that you give them a seed. Lord, also we pray for the great works that we're doing behind the scenes, that you would help us in our communities so that you can help us all to receive seeds who do not have seed. And Lord, I thank you for all the things you are doing for our communities. We thank you for the love and friendships that you've given to us in these seasons. For the Christmas, I pray that we would remember the Christ in Christmas. For those who celebrate Christmas, I pray that you would let them honor you in a God-fearing way, and that we not be bound up by the commercialism that is the detriment of many Americans and many people in the world. I pray that we would not be using Christmas as an excuse to lose sight of your spirit and what you're trying to do with us in position for the wealth transfer, such as withdrawing all of our wealth just to buy bigger presents for our children and thus eating our seed. I pray that we would do things all with prayer and consideration. In addition, I saw, Lord, that you forced the banks to play Santa Claus, and I saw also that you were using him and the banks to give great gifts to all of us. And we know that you used the wealth of Egypt to give it to the hands of your people. And we know, Lord, that you will do things and such things again. So please do so at your own prerogative. I pray that you would help guide us so that we are not caught off guard by all the shakeouts in the market, especially when many cryptos are moving into position. I pray that we would be in position for some of the greatest moves that are yet to come. We love you, Lord, and you're the best part of our day. Let us continue praying in tongue often. Let us continue getting aside and getting alone with you. I pray that until we meet again tomorrow at WordRoom, you'd be with us and bless us. May you bless them. May you keep them. Make your face shine upon them. Look upon them with favor. Be abounding to them with grace. Be gracious unto them. Lift up your countenance towards them and give them peace. Lord, heal their bodies. Heal their wounds. Heal Redvolt, Lord. Heal Redvolt. We pray for my dog Redvolt, Lord. Pray that you look after him and anoint Christina Kelly with wisdom to take care of her dog in a powerful way. He's been an unofficial mascot for our community. And we know that it's been prophesied that he would run a strong race. And I know that you're going to prosper the coin vault because of us. And I pray that you would do so. I thank you, Lord, for all that you're going to do. And may we be successful in all that we put our hands to do. Whatever our hand finds to do, may we so prosper. In Jesus' name, amen.